Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics on Transformers Earth Wars. So thank you everyone for joining me as always. So in today's stream, so we've got quite a lot to go through today. A lot of stuff is kind of external from the actual game that we're going to be talking about today. So a lot has been happening sort of in the media. So last minute, sort of last couple of days, I talked previously about Transformers Activate and said that it's a new game coming next year. So Reactivate is coming next year, but it looks like it's been renamed and is still coming next year. So we're talking a bit about that and taking a look at it over future weeks on sort of where we're going to go with that and what we think of it. But a new Transformers game is coming out next year. Then we're going to talk a bit about behind the scenes, what's been happening, some major news in terms of what's been happening behind the scenes. So we're going to talk a bit about that as well. I was going to do some 5-star batches rated, and I thought about it, but I think I'm going to maybe rank all the 5 stars instead. I did think about doing the batches, and I just wasn't happy with the visuals, and then I've gone on to doing obviously the ratings and all that. I didn't feel like it, so I just don't think it sort of fit right. So I'm going to do a ratings of all the 5 stars basically, and you sort of take that and then go from there. I know I've done a ratings video not too long ago. We've also got a new batch out, but you know, I've always said this, and whatever you guys sort of want from me, then I will do them videos. And I've had quite a few people saying that they would like me to do ratings videos again about the 5 stars. So hey, if that's what you guys want, that's what you will get. What else? Also we're talking about some good changes behind the scenes in the game. Some coming soon, some already in the game, hopefully. So we're going to talk a bit about that as well. And then lastly, we're going to be taking a look at the new weapon, the Forge of Solus Prime, the new release coming this weekend. The event has changed slightly. We're talking a bit about that as well. But yeah, all that and more. So yeah. I kind of really light. I don't know why. I've not changed the lighting, but it's really light. I might do a bit of editing actually, because I feel like I'm like a ghost because my light is too light. Give me 1 sec. We'll do a quick edit a minute. 1 sec. There we go. Is that a bit better? Looked a bit better to me. I don't know. Yeah. The light was a bit too bright, so I see almost like a ghost. Yeah. Cool. So let's see who we've got in the chat. Lots of chatter. Let's have a look. So we've got Joseph Prime. Thanks for joining. We've got Chris Harmon. We've got E-Rods. We've got Trex Penny Lancaster. Thanks for being a member as well. Yourself and Chris Harmon. Big thank you as always. Obviously, people supporting my channel. If you want to be a member, just click on my channel. At the bottom says become a member. Have a look, check it out. We've got Blade 19, we've got my brother Shani as well, good to see you. We've got Volcanicus #1. We've got Voltage, don't think I've seen you in the stream before, so thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream, buddy. We've got my brother Grind Time as always. We've got Dark Terror. We've got Carnage Mac. Alright. We've got another member, Jamie Carpenter. We've got my brother Candyman as always. He's put, I've unlocked 5-star SP Negatron. We've got Jason Rowley as well. We've got, who else have we got? Scroll. Lots of chatter in the chat today. We've got LJ Gav. We've got Darklands. We've got Autobot Phil. We've got Mr. Board as well. We've got Everyday I Am Alive. That's a strange name, but welcome to the chat. Thanks for the kind words as well. Much appreciated. We've got Hellraiser as well. We've got Supreme Rules. No, you're not going deaf. I did mention it last week. So I might put it back in. I might change it. I don't know yet. I've not really. To be honest with you, I didn't think about it until I was setting the stream up today. I was doing some last minute sort of changes to stuff. Something went wrong with my internet. So the chat went off. So I've had a few problems last minute. But I probably need to put some different music on there at least. Because people keep saying like, my music's not working. I can't hear anything. It's not that. It's literally, you got to think that I had the music at the start of every single stream I've done for the last year and a half, 2 years. So you're talking what? Probably 100 streams, because I missed a few here and there. So you talk about 100 streams that I've had that music on. And all of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, I got a message saying that one of my videos, well, streams, has been demonetized because it's got a copyright. I was like, all right, okay. And then it's like going ping, 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 ping for every single stream. So you can imagine, I've had about 50 emails for each video, each one saying it's been demonetized, which I'm not too bothered about because it's only one of my old streams. But, you know, I just can't bother about email every single time I do a stream. So I need to change the music, sadly. So, damn you, Hasbro. Who else have we got? We've got Ninja Master Builder. We've got Andrew Stevenson. We've got anyone else? Thanks for joining, everyone. And we've got Jason Guns. Good to see you too for the DJD. Thanks for joining. So yeah, plenty of people in the chat. So let's go through some of the chatter. I know there's been a bit of talk, obviously, about the acquisition, which we'll talk a bit about later. Yeah, that's a big talking point from other people. Anything else? Have a look. Talk about the new weapon, obviously. Mr. Board, is Delusion Beachcomber good on defense? Well, we're literally going through every 5-star today, so stay tuned for that, and you will literally see. Darklands guess he's getting famous enough for Hasbro to notice. Maybe, I don't know how it works, not a clue. Grind time. I went to a video where you watch live react to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and every time you laugh, you take a shot. Now, I'd be drunk. I would literally be falling off my chair. One of the best comedies ever, if not the best comedy ever. Well, Trax is trying to be funny, saying that he wants to see me running around a soccer field. After it snows in a tutu. That's the strangest request ever. But it ain't called soccer, don't forget. It's called football. Just keep that in mind. Why did you get booted from the stream? I don't know. Did everyone else get booted from the stream? That's a bit strange. I don't know. Oh, my stats have gone from the bottom. Oh, hang on. That's the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, one of my docks broke. My chat means took that down. My docks broke, and so I had to change it, and now I can't see all my stats now. My stats have moved, but hey, I'll sort it out for next week. It's not the end of the world. As long as people are here, it still works. Ninja Master Builder, since weapons like the Forge of Solus Prime as well as the Star Saber Rock, do you think there'll be a special core for the Apex Armor or the Phase Shifter? Maybe. Never say never. I don't see why not. Listen, joking aside, I know I say damn you Hasbro, but I don't think it's Hasbro. I really don't. I think it's just the YouTube algorithm. I don't think someone's actually gone through my videos and gone, oh, hang on a minute, Wozza's using our music. I don't think that's happened. I just think that the YouTube algorithm has literally found it and then gone, oh, hang on a minute, he's using this whatever song, and then it's just picked up on it. I doubt that someone sat there looking through videos all day every day trying to find, content. It's obviously automated in some way. So as I said, I'm joking saying damn you Hasbro, but I don't think it's Hasbro for a minute, guys. Come on. I don't think someone in Hasbro is going through all my videos going, well, yep, he's used that music there. Yep. No quick drink a minute. Andrew Stevenson is Vector Prime decent when leveled up. That's garbage. Just garbage, I'm honest with you. Yeah, I think so. Big Blade, welcome to the stream as well. Well done for joining. Manuel Zambiano, obviously again talking about the Supercell. But yeah, the Supercell acquisition. And check this out. I need to show you something. Watch this. This is really freaky. I was just messing about with settings in the game. And watch this. I found something. This is really bizarre. It's a new effect, so it's eye contact. So the idea is that I can move my head and my eyes will stay locked on the camera. And like, this is not even anything related to anything other than it was just really weird. So there we go. You ready? So watch this. I look down there. Now I'm actually looking down there, but you can see my eyes looking up there. And like, look, I'm looking over there, but it's showing my camera. Like, really bizarre. By the way, just so you know, I'm not looking at the camera here now. I'm not looking at it at all. Really bizarre. You can see my eyes there, look. You can see it a bit there. I'm not even moving my eyes, look. I'm just moving my head slightly. I'm not even moving my eyes. AI is real, guys. Grind time, stop it, stop it. I know, it's proper creepy, isn't it? Proper creepy. I'm not even moving my eyes, honestly, guys. Look. Proper creepy. Madness. Let's turn this off very quickly, look. Oh, wow. Bizarre. Super creepy. I know. When I was doing it, I was like, what the what? That was pretty cool. I mean, and then when I turned it, I was like, no. No, turning that off. That's just weird. That's just weird. That's so disturbing. I think it's creepy. I know. Sorry, guys. Should have done that for Halloween, shouldn't I? What kind of number one? We also had one eye option. Wow. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Not in a good way though. Oh, you could make yourself famous from that. One-eyed Wozza. One-eyed Wozza. Jesus, that doesn't stick. Hopefully. Cool. Cool. All right. Well, let's go into the news and then we'll crack on from there, guys. So, bar week grana, week ninny bong. This weekend's event is called the Lost Forge. So this was originally a leaderboard event, but then they decided to change it last minute. So you got to start thinking, you know, if this was a leaderboard event and they've changed it, why? Why have they changed it? Was a lot of negative press? Was it overall that it wasn't a success? Was it a failure on their part? I mean, Spacey have always said that they don't look at monetary values on events, which I think is bizarre. I don't understand that at all. Surely a successful event is a lucrative event, in my view. But I understand that they also need to look at, obviously, engagement rates, because free-to-play players are just as important as, obviously, pay-to-win players, because pay-to-win players will keep the game going, but the free-to-play players will keep them a community. When there's no community, the game will just die because there's no one there to talk to, no one there to fill alliances. You get the idea. So both are important, but they've always said they do look at engagement rates, but don't look at monetary income, which is bizarre. But go away from that. I'm sure the leaderboard was probably monetarily decent in terms of the amount of top players that spent quite a bit to get up there. But I imagine engagement rates were absolutely appalling, because I know for myself, I didn't even bother at all. I think I scored like 3k. I was not at all pleased with the event, not at all engaged, which is the right word, isn't it? So yeah, I wasn't bothered at all. So you got to think, you know, are they backtracking on this decision of leaderboards? You know, they always said like leaderboards are good because they make loads of money. So did they make loads of money? So I don't think we'll ever find out that, really. I don't think they'll ever tell us. But we can obviously speculate. But just put, hope you had a good Halloween, and basically these are new combats. Hope you like them. So this weekend's event is an individual mayhem totalizer. So it is mayhem mode this weekend. So it's going to be interesting for me because I'm probably not going to compete in this event, but then I'm going to do mayhem mode free to play. So I think I'll have a different view on mayhem mode by the end of this weekend. Yeah, I think I'll still enjoy it. I think it'll free my time up a lot more, because I can literally log in, do 5 battles and have all my cells depleted like that. So I could probably do 20-30k free to play without even blinking an eye, really. And just setting an alarm and logging in. I imagine. So I'm probably going to try and do that and get a bit of a few rewards here and there. But no, I'm not going for the 4-star, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the 4-star Forge of Solus Prime weapon is pretty much the pinnacle, really, unless you want to go for the binary crystals and the binary bond element. Then you got 2,000 5-star combat shards as well, which is nothing to be sniffed at. That's pretty good rewards. 200 premium combat chips, meh. But then 600,000 combat spark, which is pretty decent, and 600,000 spark as well. So yeah, a decent combat event in terms of rewards. But obviously it depends on what the weapon is like, whether it's worth chasing. So it's the usual, obviously like split rewards throughout, sort of scattered. Then you got the 2-star combat ship at 12.5k for a 2-star. And then we've got the 3-star at 25k for a 3-star combat. Then we've got the 4-star at 50k with no 5-star in there at all. Then in the binary crystals, you've obviously got either 1, 2, or 5 combat spark with an equal chance of them free, and then a 1% chance at a binary bonding element. So obviously with 1% chance, if you get 100 crystals, then you would probably just get a binary bonding element if you're lucky. So with there being 50 in this event, you've got a sort of 50-50 chance of getting a binary bonding element, and then you've obviously got one at 75k, which we'll get anyway. So you got one at 75k, and you've got a chance of one up to that, a 50-50 chance pretty much within the crystals, give or take. But the reason I'm not competing in this event is simply because once you're at the high levels of the game, 4 stars become a lot less relevant. Your 4-star combats will go on bots that you just sort of Zen farm with, that you raid with throughout the week, and you keep your sort of 5-star combats really for your war team. So a 4-star combat chip is not really going to cut it at the high levels of the game. But they've also put that 50k, which is geared towards the higher players in the game. So are they trying to push free-to-play or low-spending players to get this sort of 4-star combat chip? So the controversy as well was that the 5-star version of this was supposed to be in the store this weekend. Probably for $120, whatever it was. I don't know, I can't remember now. But quite expensive. But their sort of attitude has always been that if you don't want to do the event, then go and buy it. Which I'm okay with. If you've got the money to burn, then hey, go and do it. If you don't want to play the event, go and do it. I wouldn't personally do it. I think like the event is easy enough, really, for higher players if you're going to spend. And it's a lot cheaper than going buying it. But I get a bit lazy and can't be bothered, and you think, or even if you don't want to get a duplicate and you get the shards, but it's not really worth it. But anyway, without going on with myself, I just think that a 4-star, no matter what it is, even if this is game breaking, a 4-star combat at 50k, it's just, I don't know, it's just too much. And it reminded me, do you remember the old conversation we have about leaderboards, where the top prize was a 4-star bot? And I literally sat here for probably 2 years saying that they need to make it the 5-star. It needs to be the 5-star in the event. There's no point in doing a 4-star. And we did that with the combat for quite a while. And we seem to have gone backwards a bit. It's just weird that we've gone to just doing the 4-star now for 50k. And I can't imagine. I mean, if the 5-star version was at 75k, you don't mind the 4-star being at 50k if you're going for the 5-star. Because I would just say to people, listen, if you're going for 50, you might as well go for the 75 and carry straight on. Whether you're low spender or not, I would just go for the 5. You got both. Brilliant. No worries. So we never really looked at the 4-star being at 50k and thought, oh, that's quite expensive because we were going for the 5-star anyway, pretty much. But now that the 5-star's gone out of there, you got to think that the value of the 4-star at 50k, I just don't think it's valuable. But I think we should knock 10k off everything. I think the 2-star should be around 5k. You know, it's a good introduction for new players to get 5k to get a combat. I think the 3-star should be at 15k, 20k, maybe probably 20k. Yeah, put the 3-star at 20k. I think that's a good incentive for new players to sort of play the game. It is mayhem mode, so it's easier. And then I think the 4-star should be at 40k. I think that's all right, which is achievable free to play more than easily. I mean, I know. Listen, I know that 50k is free to play achievable. But it's still very, very difficult for a 4-star combat, which a 4-star combat is not the pinnacle. So I would have the 4-star at 40k. and then the 5-star should be at 75k. And I don't mind doing 75k for a 5-star combat because it's the actual, it's the pinnacle of the game, which is fine. The best content should be at that sort of, encouraging people to spend. It should be out of reach by free to play, and I'm okay with that. But the binary bonding element should be up there as well, which I'm fine with. But I think that without going into too much detail, I think if the 5-star was available at 75k with a binary bonding element this week, I think I might have actually gone for it. I think I might have actually done it. Because you've got a chance of... No, I've not got any binary bonding elements at the minute. I refuse to sort of spend on them. They're only available in these events, and they haven't really been worth it in the leaderboards. So now they put it now they put it within a totalizer rather than the leaderboards, then I'd be more inclined if the 5-stars at 75k. But like I just said to you, I'm literally going to do it free to play now. So I just feel like, we're talking again about these carrots, like dangling the carrot and having, something available. People are willing to spend. I've always said this, if the content is right. I'm by no means like, I haven't got the money to spend on this event. I could spend this event if I wanted to, no problem. I've got the money there to do it. But for me, it's all about value. That's why I did this channel. That's why I talk about value all the time. And I'm not that in real life. I have no problem going and spending $200 on a coat. If I think that coat, I will wear it all the time. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to do its job. I have no problem going and spending $200 on a coat. But then why spend $200 on the same coat if you get the same coat for $100? What's the point in that? I'm not one of these people going to go and spend $200 on a coat just so I can say I spent $200 on a coat when I can get the same coat cheaper. So it's all about value for me. But then, if you say to me, listen, I can say to you guys, listen, $200 for this coat is still a bargain. It's still going to be amazing value. Then, yeah, I'll go spend $200 on a coat. No problem. And it's same in this. If the content is right, I will spend on it. Dead simple. And I'm not spending right now because I haven't got the money like that. I'm not spending because I don't see the point in spending. It's more of a waste of money for me, I see it as. Not because I don't want to spend on the game, but I just think, like, I've got content already that's better than this. I've got content in my team. I don't need this. If I do 50k for this 4-star combat chip, I am going to go and chase the 5-star probably, maybe. And then that will be irrelevant anyway. So I've spent on getting 50k, 75k, whatever, for no apparent reason. For people like me, from my higher level, I know, first world problems, I know. But, it's either 5-star or nothing, basically. So to not have the 5-star in the event, it's a bit crappy. I know some people will be sort of, encouraged by the binary bonding element. Try again. But I don't know. The 5-star needs to be in there. The 5-star needs to be in the event for me, for these events. Regardless. If it's a leaderboard, I'll never compete. I don't see the point. They're too exclusive. So it won't do leaderboards. Again, that is fine if someone wants to do that. But then, like we talked about last event where the 5-star was like a ridiculous amount of money to get to. So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking behind this. It's going to be interesting, intriguing to find out, why they've gone away from the leaderboard towards this and just put the 4-star in. Will it be a case of 5 stars will be available in the leaderboard? 4 stars will only be available in totalizers. Why do they rank weapons much higher than combats? Is it because you can use them on either bot and con? But who uses cons of your bot? Who uses the alt faction? Who's going to use a 5-star version of alt faction? I don't really know many. I don't think that's a pulling power. But then again, there's plenty of times where behind the scenes they think X, and we're like, that's not going to happen. So, anyway. Usual zones apply, but obviously with mayhem mode, this obviously does change. So they didn't actually edited this. So I'm gonna work with Dale because they need a new thing for mayhem mode because that is not true. Game updates information. Obviously they put new combats. It's not a combat. It's a weapon. So whoever's wrote that, you're wrong. It's not a combat. If it was a combat, it'd be in the combat batch. And it ain't. Even though we've said it should be. But it's not. So it's not. But we'll talk about that later. Combine the changes. So this is huge. And although this is not exactly what Grind Time has been fighting for the last 10 years, this is actually huge. So combiner changes, they've updated the combiner timer from 50 minutes to 25 minutes. We promised this change for a while and we're finally happy to push it through. We're reviewing a lot of the game right now to see what we can do to make the player experience smoother and of course better. This change will be active from Thursday, which is today. So the reason this is so much better is I still don't think 25 minutes is enough. I'll take it. It's an improvement, but I still don't think it is enough. And I still think they need to go away from the 25 minutes and go towards battles. And there's a reason for this. Very simple. Now, if we're talking events, 25 minutes, brilliant change. If you're doing events like I sort of commented in my previous videos about how to get points very easily in events, then you're using a combiner. That's the easiest method. The other ways to do it, go and check the video out. But the easiest way is using a combiner. I won't go into detail. Go and check the video. But obviously going from 15 to 25 minutes, it's like what? A 60% increase? Do you know what I mean? 70% increase. So you're getting more points for your R13. So it just reduces the amount of Shanix that you're spending on R13, which means you've got more Shanix to buy other things like Spark and stuff. So it's actually a big change to the economy. It helps you in wars. It means you can get more attacks out. But the way that wars work right now, don't forget there is a war update coming. But right now, 15 minutes means you can get 5 battles in war roughly done, coined, and get done there or thereabouts. But increase that 25 minutes means you've got a bit of time between. But most top alliances, the way they work is that if you drop on the base, you've got to wait for an hour. So increasing this 15 to 25 minutes, let's just say, it's unlikely. Let's just say a top player's in a top war. It goes in on base 1 with the idea to go from base 1 to base 5 and coin them. It goes on base 1. He fails on base 1. Stops. He uses it all. That doesn't matter if you've got 15 minutes, 25 minutes or an hour. It's irrelevant pretty much. Because you've got to wait an hour. That's kind of the rules. Now, I understand for all 13, they're not going to go, here's an hour. Because then events are just going to be stupidly cheap in terms of all 13. And it's going to totally devalue the value of all 13 in the game. So I kind of get that they're not going to give us an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. I understand that. But the reason for the argument that Grind Time's always said as well, and myself has always said that it should be battles, is the reason for that is that then if it is battles rather than minutes, then you can stop. You can take note, get some help, try and find a better plan, go in again, and you've still got your combiner activated. So it works a lot better, and you're not rushing. There's a amount of times where even I will rush to try and get medals or points or anything like that, and the 15 minutes is not enough. But then again, it's quite funny, and I talked to other Transformers players about this, and put it in the chat. How many of you will start playing, activate a combiner, and the wife will say to you, "Oh, can we do this?" or "Can you do this for me?" And you go, "Sorry, I've got a combiner activated." I think my wife actually knows that one phrase from the game because the amount of times I use it, go, "Sorry, I've got a combiner activated," which means that I can't move. Whereas if it was battles, say this was 8 battles, then you could go, "Yeah, 1 minute, I'll go and do this." Might be wash the pots, might be sort the kids out, might be open the back door, might be whatever it might be, like help with the shopping. Then you come back and just carry on. You know, but when you got that 25 minutes, you're like, no, I can't leave, I can't move, I've got to stay here, I've got a combiner activated. Whether that's events, whether that's wars, whatever it is, you know. And I know Spaceship are saying that they can't probably do that. I understand that, but they need to work on some sort of fix. If they make it so that combiners in war don't use all 13 or something, then that would help. I don't know, but there's got to be some sort of workaround. And sadly, it's not for us to think of this workaround. It's for SpaceX to think of this workaround. You know, it's very intensive in terms of you have to do it in this time frame. You've got to fit it in here. Now, their argument would simply be, we'll just spend more Shanix. But you got to think, when you're warring every single day, it gets a bit tedious, you know, the amount. And they're not going to throw Shanix in because they can just go and buy Spark with it. So they can't sort of just throw that around either. So I don't know what the answer is. If I'm honest with you, I will welcome the 25 minutes. I will take it. It's going to be a great change. Definitely. So I am pleased about it. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's a solution. it's a temporary fix for a bigger problem that you need to look at. But let me know in the chat what you guys think. Are you happy with the 25 minutes? Do you think they need to change it? Is it okay as it is? Is it just a token gesture? Let me know. Then we've got next season skins. So we've got Quantum Operative Skids. Gotta say, that looks disgusting. I mean, I don't mind it because it makes your bot stand out. I do like that on the battlefield sometimes. But it also is a bit weird because sometimes you might forget and look for Skids and you go, where the hell has Skids gone? And he's not blue anymore, he's green. But when you get used to it, I suppose it's decent. But I'm not a fan of these G2 colours. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the G2 colours before that. When they had the G2 combiners and you had the yellow Devastator and like the Menosaur that's every colour under the sun, I wasn't a fan anyway. So it's like a Transformers Earth Wars thing, don't get me wrong. And remember, these skins and these colours have come from Hasbro. They haven't come from the Earth Wars team, so I'm not slating them for 1 minute. But that is disgusting. That is very green. Doesn't suit Skids at all as well, does it? I don't know, it looks a bit weird. And then SG Dirge, not a fan of that. I'd rather just see Sunstorm. You're going to bring out Yellow Jets. But I get it's a skin though. But SG Dirge is alright, but Skids is awful. I don't like that skin. I'm not a fan of that at all. Then Saga schedule. So they've come out and sort of said basically that they are... well, I read what it says. So they said the delayed out legacy event as polish is always priority. Yeah, right. And it's the same for the Combiner event. We want to focus on the combat release. Fair enough. And the endurance and the Combiner and legacy event will be polished alongside. We don't want to release content that is not at your expectation. Thanks for the understanding. I mean, other than the polish is always priority, which is absolute bullshit. Because we know for a fact that's not the case because we see content all the time coming out not ready. That aside, that is probably one of the best posts I have seen in a long time. And it's welcomed for me. Because there's too many times where they rush content out and think, we've got to get it out, we've got to get it out, we've got to get it out. And it comes out and it's underwhelming or not ready. And I think they've realised that. I don't know whether it was me and Dale sort of doing that interview that we did. And I said that my biggest thing is the rushing. And he did say that we're going to address it. And to be honest, at the time, I was like, yeah, right, okay. I'm sure you will. Yeah, because I've been saying this for 3 years now. But it actually just seemed like they've took that on board and gone, listen, we can't keep doing this. You know, we can't keep rushing content out. And it's the first time I've known them to do this. I've never known them to do this where they've planned a release and then gone, well, actually, yeah, listen, they've done it with events, but not the content. That makes sense. They've done it with an event and gone, oh, we'll change the event. But never content like this. They never got the content and gone, yeah, we're going to push it back for whatever weeks. And it's welcome for me. It's completely welcomed. It was good to hear. I'm not a fan of putting crappy events in, but I would rather have a crappy event than a crappy event with a crappy content that's supposed to be good. If they would release Raiden, I'll be honest with you, I was ready for coming in and going, this is the worst release ever. Because it's not the worst content ever, but every content should be at least equal to what we've got already or better. You know, at the very least equal. At the very least. And it wasn't even equal to content from 4 years ago. It wasn't even equal to Magnaboss. It wasn't even equal to Skyrain. By no means. And so I think they realise that. And it's really good to see that they took that on board and gone, right, we can't just... Because normally what they'd go, right, okay, well, here's some improvements. Bang, bang, bang. We're not going to test it. Here you go. Send it out and hope for the best. That is exactly what they would do last minute. But they've actually gone, we can't release it like this. And so I'm really pleased. So they've done that with the Combiner. They're probably going to work on maybe Powerglide and Cyclonus. Maybe not. I don't know. They're probably going to work on the Endurance bots next. I hope personally, what I hope is they scrap Powerglide and Cyclonus from this saga completely. Right? We get this combat out. It's pretty much finished. I've not really looked for bugs myself. I don't bother with that anymore until I sort of really test it. When I do the streams, things like that, and see if it is working or not. But I'll just have a go with it and test it because that's what we're going to get in the event. So I always think that whatever it's like today is what it's going to be like in the event, and that's what you guys should see, regardless. But get this combat out. We've got a Prime Core event. Let's have a easy event after that, whatever it is. Let's have a Thanksgiving event, which is nice and easy. Have some Black Friday sales. It's dead simple. And then get the endurance bot out. And then next saga, because then if they start next week to get the endurance bot in next week, they've got 3 weeks to balance that. And because they've got 3 weeks and they're not rushing, they can do Powerglide and Cyclonus in the background. They can also do the Combiner in the background and release it next saga. And they've got 6 weeks then for the Combiner from now. Not like the playtesters getting it. Playtesters have already had it for a few weeks. But they've got another 6 weeks. And Powerglide and Cyclonus got another, like, I don't know, what, 8 weeks? 9 weeks to balance it. Just for Christmas. We've got loads of time then. And I think that's so much better, getting the content. And then they can start that process well in advance. And when Powerglide and Cyclonus start to get finished, they can look at the next one, get the next legacy bot out. And they've got another 12, 14 weeks. And they're not going to sit there going, let's bring it out next saga. They can push it back. It's not the end of the world. You know, you don't have to release content out. And I think they're starting to realise now that they're probably better pushing content back, making it good, and people will spend, than rushing out the content and then people don't spend on the content because they've got no faith that it's going to do what it should and be decent. And I'm super glad that they turned the corner, and I really hope they are. And I hope this is a new process that they are doing. And I would love nothing more to be sat here next year and go, hey, remember when they used to rush content out and it used to be awful? Wow, those days are bad. Like when we talk about leaderboards now, and we talk about going, oh my god, do you remember the old leaderboards? Like, they were awful. We did it, but they were awful. But think how far we've come. And that is, you know, I have a dream sort of speech. You know, I hope that content gets, you know, gets put in playtest early, gets balanced early. We can build up a bit of, you know, a bit of anticipation about these things. So, yeah, as I always say, we'll have to wait and see. Nothing's guaranteed. But hopefully, if Space, if you're watching this, I'm quite pleased you made the change you have, and I hope it's for the future. I really do. Then obviously go and check out your content creators, myself, Soldier, and Freezius. And then the next team stream is the 13th of November, which is next Thursday. So I'm sure I think next Thursday they're probably going to show parts of the new war strategy thing, system, whatever it will be. It's going to be interesting. It's either going to blow my head off and be absolutely amazing, or it's going to be absolutely awful. And I don't think there's going to be anywhere in between. If it's totally reinventive, it's going to be amazing. If it's going to be some tweaks, it's going to be pretty crap in it. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see. Let's go into chat. Let's see what everyone's sort of saying. Let's have a look. Ninja Master Builders spoke about a spark extractor. I don't think that will ever happen, sadly. Mario Zambiano was talking about obviously Supercell, things like that. Let's have a look. Trax has put, you don't need to set an alarm in Mayhem. Remember, you don't get penalised, so to speak, for missing every hour. You just build more FC to use in Mayhem. Yeah, but obviously, once you hit 70, you'll start to lose them. And you got to think, sometimes I'm in work or something. So if I'm in work, then I can't. You know, I will gladly work my break around. I'm thankfully I'm in a position where I can do that. I can probably work my break around, you know, the time where my cells regen. So, yeah, like you said, yeah, 75, yeah. But yeah, just like you said, like don't hit 75. Yeah, exactly. Also, what Phil's put 50k is pretty easy for a high level free to play player in Mayhem mode. Maybe. Dark Terror got his Titan last week. Congratulations. Welcome to the big leagues. It will make a big difference in everything. In resource raids, in wars. Huge difference. So I hope you got the Arc. The Arc's really, really good. Arc is the best Titan titan out there with by far. There's kind of an argument about other titans at the minute with some of the new build bots that have been out, but I still think he's the best. Ninja Master Builder's put, I'm kind of hoping Ultra Magnus can wield the Forge since he used it much more than anyone else in Prime. I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Blade 19's put the 5-star's not going to be released for a couple of weeks. Exclusivity period, what they said. I know. Big Blade, how is 50k easy? That's what I mean. Like, listen, for some people, 50k is easy, but for some it's not. Let's just keep that in mind, guys. You know. MD Prime, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, everybody. Old timer. By old time, I don't mean you're old. I mean like you've been watching my stream for a long time. Hellraiser's put 4 stars are not prizes anymore. Totally agree. Just about to say it myself. Drop about 10k. Yeah, well, 4 stars are prizes, but they're not top content anymore. Andrew Stevenson says he agrees. Dark Terror says he can get 30k. Yeah, it depends what level you're at, obviously. It really does depend on what level you're at. But you see there, for example, so Dark Terror, I hope you don't mind me calling you out in the chat, so to speak. I'm not calling you out per se, but, you know, obviously it seems to be like, you know, medium to low level because he's just got his first Titan. So these are kind of people that are coming into the game that we want to try and, you know, entice to spending maybe, or to put a bit more up in events. And this is how it sort of starts, that you start to sort of, you know, spending a bit here and there. And I've always said that you're better getting loads of players spending $10 and $20 here and there than one whale spending $300. So, you know, if we can get, you know, Dark Terror, say, doing 30k, and he goes, you know, I can do 30k with 35, but I can't do 40k. But the 4-star at 40k, I could probably spend a $10 bundle and I can get it. You might go and spend $10 on the game, guys. I mean, and everyone else starts to do that. And, you know, then they'll spend $20 on a different bundle or $20 on a thing. And before you know it, he's doing endurance events. But that is how it goes. That's how we did it. You know, that's how we started. You know, we started spending bits and then got into a spending pattern. I thought, I actually enjoy this. And it's worth, you know, spending on because we enjoy it. And that's what you want to do, entice people in. But if you put it out of reach, then people will go, yeah, I'm just doing 30k. Like you've seen a few people in chats going, yeah, I've got to do this weekend. Like I've just said, you know. It needs to be achievable for, you know, more players than just the top players. Yeah, also Phil said it all. But yeah, I do agree, 50k is too high for 4-star. But SA overvalues the combats and weapons. They overvalue everything. Let's not just say combats and weapons. Everything is overvalued. Everything. Yeah, Supreme Rules obviously put just 5 stars in pull from the store. Yeah. So in that aspect, if the 5-star is normally $120, why don't they put the 4-star in there for like $40? Good question, isn't it? Bartosh, the events that seem pretty whelming. You mean underwhelming? You mean, yeah. London's Collins asked, would have been a few bundles in the store. I presume so, with a big event like this, a mayhem mode. I'd hope so, yeah. Traxxas Sport, Wozza hits it right. Why pay more for the same content and spending on content that is valuable? Yeah. For the 4-star Forge, it's still useful. I plan on using both 5-star and 4-star. The BBE is smoke and mirrors. Hardly anyone will actually pull one. Well, one's guaranteed, don't forget, so you will get one. Yeah. But you can't just use that one weapon for each faction. They still have a bot and a conversion. Alright, okay, that makes sense then. Because they did say that it's like, you know, it's the same weapon for bots and cons. So I presume you have to use both, but I wouldn't, so it doesn't matter. Candyman, I was expecting the time to go to 20 max. Yeah, it's too fair. 25 is decent increase, but Kill Circus put what's handy to combine war with Zen farming, but the reason they did it is to sell more fuel cells. I don't think it is, you know. I literally think it is because I've had so much feedback from people saying like you need to increase it, increase the availability of it, increase, and you know they have where they had the increase in level on the harvester and the storage, so that's increased. So they have increased all 13 over the last year or so. So yeah, you know, let's be honest. Let's you know pay dues where you know where it's due. They have increased it, but it's not quite there yet. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, grind time sport. My wife knows that phrase. Yeah, I've got a combiner active. Yeah, everyone knows that phrase. Yeah. The tracks, my wife are the same. I say combiner, she knows don't bother me till I'm done. Yep. Supreme rules all the time. Yeah, we're all the same, guys. See, we're all the same. Play 19, I do it all the time. Wife asks me to do something. Nope, I'm not wasting my combiner. Kill sucker, yeah, it's called combiner time. Big blades, but I always try to find an appropriate time to use my combiner. All the time. Push doesn't care if it's active. Lumega's but we all know these same discussions. It's amusing, you know what I mean? That like it's not just me. You know, we're all in the same sort of situation where we're like, nah, and the wife's like, you better get it done. Oh. Yeah, Johnny Butler's but my wife asked if I've got a combiner active. Wow, that's mad. That's a good wife, to be fair. She's even asking you, saying, have you got a combiner active? I mean, my wife's really understanding, to be fair to her. Do you know what I mean? Like that. And she sort of like, you know, she doesn't ask, like, have you got a combiner active? But if I say, I've got a combiner active, I don't think she knows what a combiner is. But she just thinks, oh, it's that again. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'll just trust him to come off when he's done. But Johnny Butler's, but my 2-year-old isn't that polite, though. So, yeah, that's why you just have to beat them off. Steve Pierce, without fail, I activate my combiner and my 2-year-old will ask to play or go loo. Oh, wasted. You got nothing to get lost. No, I don't hit my kids. But no, I'll be honest with you. I do go. You're gonna have to wait. Like the wife, I'm like, no. But to be fair, my kids are like 12 and 8. They're a lot older, to be fair. So you know, when they mind me, I'm like, nah. It's like my stream. You know what? I'm very much like, listen. When I'm streaming, don't bother me. You want a drink? Go and get a drink or something, but be quiet. You know what I mean? I'm streaming. You know, but same as, you know, if they had friends around, like I would not go and bother them while they've got friends around. You know, just leave them to it. You know, it's not like it's a me thing. You know, you just leave people alone, don't you? Want to do something, or whatever. But yeah, I get with a 2-year-old, it could be a lot harder. I don't miss them days. I'm not gonna lie. But Big Blaze put every time you're occupied, just say banner time. But yeah, kind of it's a positive change. Yeah, definitely is a positive change though. Trespen Lancaster right now are going attack bases in either 3-2 or 2-3. 3-2. What's that mean? I don't get what I mean. 3-2 or 2-3. I don't know what that means. Chris Harmon. No, we need more or 13. You're wrong on this, Wozza. One more and easier to get is the only answer. Or more and easier to get. We have got more raw. We have got more raw. They've increased it with the last update for HQ 18 point whatever it is. I've even lost track now. I think 18.3 was it? I think it was. They increased the harvesters. They increased the storage. You know, and you can buy it with Shanix. So yeah, it's it is available. The Megas put year 2 or 3 was fine. Now after H light, you still play that stupid game. Because my kids sort of involved with the game because they pull crystals and that. They actually don't mind it. I mean, they don't play it, they don't like it, but they pay interest in it. Big Blades put Mountain Dew skids. I actually get that reference. I actually like Mountain Dew. Big Blade put, we need Sunstorm and Nova Storm. Yeah, I agree about Sunstorm, definitely. Supreme Rules, yeah, get rid of the cooldown price increase for Combiner. That's a good point. Maybe we should just level it out rather than going 10 and 25. But I don't know, I don't mind 10, you know. I don't mind that because it does encourage you to use other combiners. There has been times where I've gone, oh, I don't want to keep using Ruination and just spending 25. It does sort of pocket hole you using Ruination. But the problem is not that cost. The cost is right. That's what I'm saying. The cost of using 10 and 25 and sort of punishing you if you keep using the same combiner is right. The problem is that the other combiners are not good enough. That's the problem. If all combined, I mean, it's not going to happen. But let's just say we got all the combiners that were all equally good. Then the 10-25 would not be a bad thing. You can use 10 for that base, 10 for that base, 10 for that base, and it'd be fine. But that's the problem. They need to get to that stage. I'm not going to get them all the same, but they're or thereabouts. But at the minute, we've got God Neptune Ruination like through the roof, and then we've got Mandibos Skyrain and Computron, and then we've got everyone else's crap at the bottom. That's the problem. You've got such levels like that. That's the problem being. Darklands, get rid of the lab time below 50. 100% on board with that. 100%. Candyman's like, I don't use his skins at all. Dark Terror is most like a reference to Babers. Nope, get that out of here. Out. Get it out. See Pierce put, I'm yet to see a skin I like other than the Orion packs. I don't know, the ghost skins are alright for Alpha Trion and Starscream and all that. They're pretty cool. There are some. Darklands, going to show change for Powerglide Cyclonus. We are going to talk a bit about that, I think, at some point, but yeah. Mr. Steeler, welcome back. Good to see you. Oh, chat's jumped ahead. Let's have a look. So sorry, she jumped ahead there. Cyclonus at Christmas, what a gift. Candyman's put. Yeah, Mark Cooper's put pushing combine a legacy bot back was the right idea. I agree. Darklands agrees. Darklands, any word on the game mode? Mayhem, wasn't it? What do you mean? You don't know what Mayhem mode is? You not seen it yet? Come on, where have you been? ZB, be cool if you had both sides for a base on one account. I'm not too sure about that. Don't know. Maybe be interesting, wouldn't it? To start a new account again in a way. I won't be too disheartened if they did that. What do you guys think? Would you like to sort of start again? Not start again, but do a Decepticon base as well? Do both? Is that a good thing? Imagine the grind. I don't know. I don't mind it. Be interesting because I've always thought about doing a fresh account on there, like, you know, and just see what it's like, but I can't be bothered to do it because you don't get anything out of it with two accounts. But as part of my main account in some way, and it gave you some benefit, and you could earn double the energy on saying, double the alloy, you know, like double the ore. That'd be interesting. MD Prize put his spending for the binary bond. It'd be his first. Cool, fair enough. Listen, I can sit here and say, don't bother, guys, blah, blah, but if you find value in it and you've got the money to spend and want to go and do it, then go and do it. It's your account, it's your money. You go and do that. Listen, the only time I will ever sort of like discredit people is if the content is crap and people are still going for it. Now, binary bonds are decent, overvalued, but decent. But, you know, yeah, good. Mark Cooper, don't start making sense, although you'll just confuse the apes. Probably. Mark Dote is asking about the acquisition from Supercell. We are going to talk a bit about that. Yeah. Advice of the week, eat the child. What else? Go on time. They need to change it. Oh, switch up to head again. Sorry. They need to change so you can charge or activate more than one combiner. Then choose the one you want to use per base. I don't think it's be possible, really. I don't think. I'm honest with you. I think it's a bit too pie in the sky. I get your reasoning for it, and I get that it would be decent to do that, but I don't think that's going to be even really possible. It's going to be a lot of work, I think, for something where I think it's a better solution, an easier solution, which would just be to make more combiners more viable. I think that's the easy. It's just balancing. You know, balancing changes are quite easy, just getting the time to do it. If you want to make some fundamental changes to the game, and that's where it takes a long time. But yeah, I agree with giving a certain number of uses per charge. I do agree with that. Yeah, that's like I've been showing it for years, literally from when he did his channel years ago. Literally, that was his thing. Big Blaze put the Comptron's good on both offense and defense. You need to be fast. Yeah, but as you go to later levels, I'm talking like Prime League, he melts. You're not even fast enough. Honestly, yeah. Quite times, but Babers is not Transformers. What else? Matt Superion just got Superion. Is it good? It's okay. It's not great. He's probably, I'd say he was better of the poor combiners, if that makes sense. He's probably like 5th out of, is it 10 right now? Maybe 6th out of 10? Or something like that. You know, he's mid. It's not great. As a first combiner, he's alright. Otus Maximus is better. Probably even. They're probably both alright. They're not the worst combiners. I mean, could have been worse. Could have got Victoria. But yeah. Track support got 5-star Wild Rider and Junk Heap. They are in trouble when I get them up on his con account. Yeah, decent bots. Jimmy Carpenter's bot Wild Rider is best gunner in my opinion. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Big Blade, yes, we're going to see the Forge of Solus. Yes, we are. I'm going to talk about Cyclonus and Powerglide. Yes. Matt Superior almost got Ruination. Yeah, best combined in the game, hands down. Even at 4-star, the 4-star Ruination is better than most 5-stars. The 3-star Ruination is better than most 4-stars. Go and get Ruination, even at 3-star, and start leveling him. Amazing combiner. And yeah, Victorian does suck in every aspect. Right, cool. Let's go into the game and talk about something else in a minute. Cool. Okay, so I want to talk about something which is this. So it's been in a few chats. It's been sort of thrown around, and this is the 5-year roadmap for Transformers. Now, this was supposedly leaked, but when it was leaked, when it was purposely leaked, we don't know, but we see these all the time. But you can see there that 2024, the releases is that you've got Transformers 1, and then they've got some releases for gaming. So apparently there's a Minecraft Transformers sort of crossover thing. I'm not a big Minecraft fan. I've never really played it. My son does. But I'll also tell him about that. I'm pretty excited about it. But there's going to be a Transformers aspect to Minecraft. So some bits and bobs there. You can see Earthspark is being released as a thing and then some publishing. But I think the big one to look at is obviously the digital game releases of 2025. So AAA console game. I mean, that'll be a game on the consoles. A lot of the old console games have done really well. Some really good additions. So that'll be a welcomed addition. Then we've got something from the Wonder Group, not sure what that is. You've got Transformers Alliance, which is going to be a augmented reality sort of where you get your phone and you point at something and a Transformer shows on the screen, a bit like sort of Pokemon. I'm not really into that, but I think the big one is Transformers Reactivate. So that is a sort of mobile game that's been being developed behind the scenes for the last maybe 2 years. I think I first started hearing about it. So it's a kind of like an RPG where I think you go in squads of Transformers and go and battle other Transformers. It's third person. I have covered it in the past. I'll probably cover it again when I get more information. But they've actually renamed it, from what I've heard, from Reactivate to Eternal War. I think it's actually a better title than Reactivate. But that has been penciled in for 2025. Now, obviously, my channel is all around sort of Earth Wars. But no doubt when this game comes out, I'll be playing it. I don't know. So it depends how good it is. I have played other third-person shooters and not really enjoyed them. I prefer first-person shooters personally. But I understand that if you have a first-person shooter and Transformers game, then it's basically just a first-person shooter because you don't see the transformations, things like that. I don't know. If I was making it, I'd make it probably different if I could. But anyway, that's conversation for another day. But third-person shooter, Transformers Reactivate. And I'm probably going to cover it, I think, on my channel. I might even rebrand the channel to do both and just make it a Transformers channel rather than just Earth Wars. But then you have to question on how many players will leave Earth Wars to go and play that. How good a game is it going to be? So we're going to cover this thing over the next year because it's been in development, has been put back and put back and put back, and put back and put back. To give you an idea, I think the beta was out in January this year, and it's still coming out in 2025. Somewhere around there. The beta was definitely early in the year. It might have been February, March, but it was definitely early on. But you get the idea. There's a new Transformers game in town. And so, as always, we're going to cover it, guys. I'll give you my lowdown on it. I'll keep my ear to the ground, so to speak, because now it's been told it's been released. There was always a bit of, will it be released? Won't it be released? There's been some money put into it, but they're not too sure. But from this, it looks like it's going to be released. I mean, it does say subject to change from 2025 plus, so nothing's set in stone still. But with the name change to Eternal War, you think that they probably market it a bit different. And yeah, keep tuned, guys. We'll cover it. We'll have a look at it. And yeah, it's welcome. A new game you can play. New game we can cover on the channel. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the channel. Let me know in the chat, like, what do you guys think of it? Would you play a third-person shooter Transformers game? Do you play this game because you like base building games and you like Transformers? Or do you simply just play this game because it's a Transformers game? I mean, I played Transformers Legends, which was a card game, but I played it because I like Transformers. I played Transformers Rising, which I didn't really enjoy, but I played it because it was a Transformers game. I played Transformers Battle Tactics, which I thought was really good. I was surprised that I died a death so quickly. But I enjoyed that because it was a good game and because it was a Transformers game. And then you've obviously got all the War of Cybertron games on the consoles, things like that, Devastation, things like that. All the Transformers games, I've played literally every single one. At least tried them, pretty much. But we'll wait and see, eh? We'll see. So have a look. Jimmy Carpenter's put, Wozza doing combiners ranked video. Yes, fair point. Yeah, I could probably do that now. Yeah, but we all know that Ruination is going to be like, easy. That's why I've sort of not done it, for the simple reason that we know that Ruination is going to be the top one. Volcanus number 1 has put the Minecraft thing is just a skin pack. So there you go, fair enough, it's just skins. That map thing to 2028, that's kind of disappointing. I mean, they'll add more in. You can obviously see there's loads of releases, but they'll add more in as they go. But yeah, but you see there as well, Transformers live action release. So there's going to be another Transformers film. That'd be interesting. Interesting. So if they've done Transformers 1, it shows you how that started. Will they do another one that's like episode 1 of G1, the original Transformers, where it shows how they got on Earth? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Imagine if they actually listen to the fans. Darklands sounds like Marvel Strike Force. No, Marvel Strike Force is not a third-person shooter. Nothing like it. It's an RPG, the Transformers game. Nothing like Marvel Strike Force. I play that. Oh, what kind of number 1 has put? Is that the same? Wonder Group is making the Eternal War game. A different studio is making Reactivate. Okay. Ah, okay. So we're getting 2 Transformers games. Reactivate and Eternal War. I do make more looking into it. I've literally only found out about this about an hour before the stream. I went and did some searching. And I typed in Eternal War. And the guy was literally talking about Reactivate. So I will look into that. Unless it's a joint venture. Unless Wonder Group are doing Reactivate. I don't know. I don't think they are though. So I don't know. I'll look into that. Killsuckers, but if it's a decent game, I will switch to it and Earthworld becomes free to play. Maybe, maybe. Andrew Stevenson, is the game dying? I hope not. I mean, every game has a half-life. Who knows? Yeah, but Grind Transport, I only play because I love Transformers. LJ Gaz put a third-person CF game would be nice. Not leaving Earthworlds unless they have combiners. But yeah, a lot of people are saying to play the game because it is Transformers. Darklands, not a big fan of third-person shooter games. Yeah, I like first-person shooters. I love Call of Duty. Just don't have the time to play it to the level I do. Yeah. Andrew Stevenson doing all the 5-star views today. Yes, not the batches, but 5-star bots. Yes, we are going to do that. Yes. but batch by batch. If that makes sense. Yeah, Lumega's put TF Tactics. Dina hurt my feelings on that abrupt closing. Yeah, me too. Johnny Butler, listen to her fans, that would be mental. Everyone really quotes that now, like I use it all the time. I don't think I do, but obviously I must do. Yeah, Bartosh report, WFC and FOC are amazing games. Need more of that. Yeah, if you played WFC and FOC, so you know, War of Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, if you played those online, I imagine Reactivate would be the same as that. So yeah. I'd love a good He-Man game too. He-Man's dead in the water at the minute, I think. Tried bringing it back to life and just failed. Does the game Half-Life have a Half-Life? Oh, Grind Time. So Grind Time's been collecting Transformers figures and been sending me pictures. And now he's said he's going to collect He-Man figures. God, Jesus. Grind Time, you think you don't say mental all the time is mental, mate. B Cornell, have you ever played Transformers Forge to Fight? I did for a while, but I found it quite samey. Just button bashing. I'm not a big fan of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat for that reason. That yes, you can do combos and stuff, but it's a lot of button bashing. I was more a fan of Tekken more. There was more combos you could do by pressing 2 buttons and all that, and it was a lot cooler. I prefer Tekken to Street Fighter. I know Tekken's a bit later on, but you get the idea. I like some sort of skill in it. Traxxas put Wozza hated on my new Sunstreaker. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Of the new is it a Bumblebee Sunstreaker? I think it is. Whatever it is. Yeah, I literally saw it on the shelf the other day. I was like, nah, not a fan. I thought about buying it and putting it in the PC. Like, no, not a fan. Oh, and just for the record, so for the last few weeks I've had some problems with my PC, and I've kind of worked out what it is. So this is the weird thing. So every time I had problems with my PC and the camera going off, someone that knows what to talk about PCs explained how this works. So I think it's conflicting drivers because basically it's iQOO. iQOO is causing my USBs to crash. I know, bizarre, right? So what was happening was my camera is linked by USB. iQOO was stuttering because of OBS, I think, and conflicting drivers, and causing the PC to sort of stop any processes at a low level, like the USBs, things like that, and the USB would turn off and then turn on again, and it would do that constantly. So I found that if I reset my PC before my stream, load it up, and don't let iQOO run on startup and then do my stream, I don't have any problems, as you've seen today. But if I literally activated iQOO right now and normalized my PC worked, then it started crashing my camera. Weird, I know, weird. Bizarre. Joseph Chirilla's been watching Hasbro stream the second season of G1 Transformers on their YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Stratus bought, you're not the first stream that had issues. I think it is OBS. I think it's OBS and iQOO. So also iQOO is used quite a bit. I mean, for most PC enthusiasts, and that's the problem. I think it is OBS with iQOO, or it's iQOO with OBS. Either way, I don't want to blame either one, but I know iQOO is quite fiddly from what I've heard. But yeah, no, it's not overclocking Darklands. No, I'm not overclocked at all. I don't need to with what I play in the games and things like that. It's literally, without, like I said, it's literally when I run OBS and iQOO together, it crashes my camera. I don't understand that at all. It's proper bizarre. I don't get it. But anyway, we'll go into the game minute. I've chat about something else. So I'll restart this. Yeah, really bizarre. It's got to be conflicting drivers. It's got to be because if I don't run iQOO, then it works fine. And my PC lights are on, but they're not how I like them. They're like, set to, not the basic, what they're sort of just lights. They're just on. They're not like sort of moving, anything like that, not flashing. Not in like, how they work. But yeah, cool. So the next thing to talk about is obviously the acquisition of Space 8 from Supercell. So Supercell owned quite a large stake. I think it was like 60-70% of Space 8, which was there for quite a few years ago. And we talked back then on how that would affect the game, how it would change things. And if I'm honest with you, it didn't change anything really. The game sort of carried on regardless. They started to invest more people into the game, I think, because it had that investment of money. And so I don't think much changed, if I'm perfectly honest, behind this. I don't know about behind the scenes, but I'm talking from my view about the game. Nothing seems to change a bit. So then fast forward to the new acquisition of 100%. So I have a feeling on something, and I've got no evidence of this, and I'm not going to listen. Don't for one minute take this as gospel, because I'm just thinking. But I know for a fact that someone said that a couple of apes from other games have left the company, and so there's only one or two reasons that I can think of that quite a few people would leave the company. One is that they weren't happy with something, and I don't think those people would leave that. Or two is that they were made redundant for some way. So you've got to ask, why were they made redundant? So I actually did some reading up on the other games that Space Ape have in terms of BeatStar and Chrome Valley Custom. So Chrome Valley Custom and BeatStar, their sales are going through the roof. And they are definitely the games that are the AAA titles. And from what I read, when I read about Chrome Valley Customs, it said that they have a team of around 30 people working on Chrome Valley Customs, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth when we know there's like 5 people working on Earth Wars. Now, they could include the art department on that. Maybe they're just bigging it up to make it sound like they put loads of people on the game. Because listen, I think it sounds quite poor if you go, yeah, we've got this brand new game making loads of money, and we have 5 people working on it. And you're like, what? You know, so maybe they're just sort of like bringing the art people in and all that, and declaring the art people as part of that. But there's no denying that Chrome Valley Customs and BeatStar have done, and obviously Country Star have done absolutely amazing. And so you've got to think like, is it a case that Supercell have seen the money that these games are making, have faith in Space Ape, and go, we want a full piece of the pie? Is it a case of that Space Ape are struggling, and that they need a monetary injection to help create other games? Because they have sort of said that there's quite a few games that have failed, and they've had to sort of shelve or sort of dissolve. Now they've always said that they like Transformers because it has an IP. That's the one thing about Transformers that they do sort of enjoy, because it does have a pulling power of a sort of base of Transformers fans, which brings them in. It's a different game than everything else they've got, but it is the kind of game that is really high in terms of content, creating content constantly. It's obviously hard to program, but I honestly do think the team they've got is dedicated. But we've obviously had Callum leave as well recently, and you've got to think, has Callum left because he's got another job, or have they've done the acquisition, Supercell have come in and gone, yeah, well, we probably don't need all these people doing all these jobs. Now, on the surface, you probably don't need 2 community managers on Transformers Earth Wars, but when you've got Dale helping with the endurance bots, or the legacy bots, sorry, when you've got Dale helping with legacy bots, and you've got then, all of a sudden, you've got Callum doing Dale's job, is it a case that, well, no, Dale should be doing his job? Which I kind of get, but for me, they don't see that from the outside, that Dale is the driving force behind a lot of this content. But is that the right process? No, that's not the community manager's job. That is Space Ape's job. So if that's the case, and it's all pie in the sky, this is all speculation. I've had no official thing from Space Ape, and to be honest with you, even if I did, I'd probably be under a bit of an NDA. Well, I'm not. But let's be honest, if I really annoyed Space Ape that much where I'd let any secrets out, they could just go, right, we're kicking you out of playtest, we're kicking you out of the content creators thing, you're losing your test account, and it'd be disastrous. So I would not sort of do that. So all I'm saying right now is pie in the sky. I've had no problem shot. And I always be dead honest with you guys. If I know something, I'll tell you, and I'll literally say, listen, I know, but I can't tell you. but I don't know. But I can speculate that I just feel like Supercell are trying to streamline Space Ape. They're trying to take anything, cut the fat out, so to speak. I don't think the game's shutting down anytime soon. I think quite a while ago, Yanis said that you'll know the game's shutting down when they stop creating content like bots and combats, because that's where a lot of their work goes into, and that's where they spend their money in creating the content. That's when you'll know. So we're still getting combats, we're still getting bots, and until then I won't be worried. But obviously, with them, what looks like to be trimming the fat, maybe, with them doing that, not just on this game but other games as well, and with at least one Transformers game coming out next year, maybe two, then yeah, it is a time to be slightly worried. But maybe is that a case why Supercell have come in and gone, listen, we can sort this out. We're experienced enough. We're going to come in. We're going to streamline it. We've got some ideas. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Here's the investment. Bang. The CEO can still stay on board as whatever, but we're going to do this. And I messaged Dale for a minute and I said, like, you know, what's the news? And Dale was like, I don't even know. I've been off, I've come back, I'm a bit out of the loop. I'm going to speak to Max. So Max is like sort of Dale's boss within sort of Space. He sort of looks over the day-to-day running of the game. He said, I'm going to talk to Max, I'm going to find out. I don't really know. And I'm not spoke to Dale since about that. I haven't spoke to him at all. But I did sort of say to him, what does this sort of mean? And he's like, I don't really know, honestly. So I'm sure it's a bit scary for everyone at Space Ape on what this means and on where it goes. But it always is with acquisition, because there's always a bit of doubt in there. Regardless, listen, this could be the best thing for Space Ape. It could be the best thing for Earth Wars. But right now we don't know. And whenever you've got a don't know and you're speculating, everyone always thinks the best and the worst. They always do. So it's a case of waiting and seeing. But as soon as I know something, then I'll also pass it on to you guys. I'll keep trying to hunt for a bit of information behind the scenes and look in the web pages and all this, and sort of try and get Dale to sort of say, anything he knows, the reason for it, or what the plans are. But hand on heart, I feel like they just want to pump out more games like Beatstar and like Chrome Valley. I don't think the game's going anywhere too soon. I think the game is obviously in a bit of decline. I do. But not because of numbers, just because of the age of the game, because it happens. But I still think there's life in the old dog yet. That is the phrase, isn't it? Yeah, I still think the game's got a good 2 or 3 years. I mean, I've said this the last 5 years, saying the game will last another 2 or 3 years, and we're still here in year 9. Is it? I think year 9. Yeah, coming up. So you never know. Like I said, you never know what could happen. But like I said, I'll keep trying to find out information, and I'll let you guys know when I find it. Let's have a look. Killsucker's put Callum said he will be active as a CM somewhere else. Within Space Ape or external? Darton support, they really do need more CM off hours coverage. Well, that's why they put sort of thingies in the chat, aren't they? Mods, for that reason. Mario Zambiano's put, I did some creeping on LinkedIn and it looked like they have fired Jesse too. Maybe that is why content is delayed, not because they are being nice, maybe because they lost their staff. Yeah, maybe. It's a fair point. Yeah, maybe. Darklands possibly slow down on sagas in the new year, 8 weeks to 10 weeks. Well, you remember the sagas used to be 4 weeks. Then they put it to 6 weeks. Then they put it to 8. So you never know. It makes sense if they did. But obviously it means less money. You got to think that content being every 8 months where they get the money for the endurance bots, being 10 months mean throughout the year, rather than you having, let's just say for argument's sake, people only spent on the endurance. Right? So rather than having all of a sudden, rather than having 6 big weekends in the year, you'd only have 5. So you're literally losing what, 15-18% of your money by doing that. So yeah. Killsucker, so you could be a PT again, was it without Jesse? No. I wouldn't go back. Even if they asked me to, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't. Not a chance. You know, I'm very much like that. That when I'm in something, I'll give everything. Like I really did in playtest. I give so much of my time and effort into playtest, and I got kicked out twice. So first time got kicked out, got asked back. I was like, yeah, no problem. Got kicked out again. You know, and the old phrase is, you know, fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, shame on me. So I won't even go back if they ask me. I really wouldn't. It's not worth my time anymore, sadly. There's playtesters in there. I will leave it to them. And I'm honestly at that stage where I hope content comes out. And it's going to sound really harsh. But if it doesn't, I don't care. Honestly. I will just review it as regardless. And if I don't want to go for it, I won't go for it. I'm at that sort of stage now where I'm like, SpaceX can sort of do what they want with it, really. And yeah, some people will say that's you sort of spitting your dummy out. Yeah, it is in a way. You know, listen, I hope the best for the game, and I hope the best for playtest, I hope they bring out some great content, and I hope that it works, and I really do, but without me at all. You know, there's no way I'm going back to playtest, just because, listen, if they really wanted me in there at the time, when some people were saying they didn't want me in there, they could have stood up and gone, no, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Now, listen, I know I'm passionate, as you can probably see on my channel. I get passionate about things, and I'm like, this is mental, and I use words. Listen, I'm not highly educated, yeah. I'm not stupid, but I'm not highly educated. Where I live, it's not like a posh estate. You know, I would say I'm quite common. I'm the average working man. Let's just say that much. You know, and I talk how I talk. You know, if I would say to you that is stupid, then I'll say this is stupid. I would not go and go, ooh, this is not acceptable. It's not my style. I'm not that sort of person. I say it as it is. And, you know, there's nothing meant by that. But I type how I talk. You know, I will use words like ridiculous, this is stupid, unbelievable. Words that you use in daily life. You know. And, you know, that's how I work. And I don't mean anything by it. But if you can't handle that, words, then Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Yeah. But you see arguments still in playtests. Just not as heated as maybe mine. But we're more opinionated back then. But we're pushing for more content back then. I still think the playtest is a bit quiet. I do. But that's just me. I was always for fighting for more. I mean, to be fair to the playtesters, they have fought in terms of Raiden. And for this new weapon as well. They have done quite well. You know, they are becoming a bit more vocal, and you see a bit more chat in there, and we're finding a few more testers now that will be vocal, and Space It will always go, look at the survey, but I'm all for having a discussion. You know, forget, if Space It don't want to read the discussion, that's up to them, but I'm for playtesters having discussions about things, and playtesters going like, listen, this is what we want to do, this is how we see it, and there's nothing wrong with going, well, I see it this way and you see it that way. I've said this before, I don't want to keep banging on about it. There's been plenty of times where I've gone, yeah, this, and then someone's gone, but what about this? And I've gone, good point, didn't think of that. And that's where the conversation comes from. If everyone just fills out a survey, you don't get that feedback from someone else. So all of a sudden, let's just say I'm going, this content is rubbish, and then Shani, who's a playtester, says, yeah, but Wozza, if you use it with Retgar in some way, I don't know, watch this. And he takes out a HQ 18 base with 2 bots. And I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, all of a sudden, now my feedback has changed. That this is actually pretty good in certain circumstances. But if I do that survey, Shani is going, this is great. I'm saying it's awful. And all of a sudden, you've got conflicting results. Whereas, all of a sudden, because I've had that conversation, we're both on the same page. And he probably looks at it and goes, well, you know what, Wozza's got a point though, because how I tested it, I thought it was amazing. But now I'm thinking, outside of what I tested, the way Wozza was testing it, it's not very good, really. So I kind of see, you know what I mean? And you get ideas from each other. You know what I mean? And bounce off each other. And sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't. And I said, don't take it personal. I don't. And that's that. You know, I mean, talk to Trax. Me and Trax talk outside the game. And I don't agree with everything he tells me sometimes. You know, sometimes he tells me stuff, I'm like, yeah. And sometimes I'm like, nah. I don't agree with that. Do you know what I mean? But we still talk. You know, we're still friends outside the game. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it don't make a difference to me if I agree or not. But I am going to be honest with you. But for that reason, no, I would never go back to playtest. Not a chance. Soul's in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being in the stream. Steve Pierce, I want a posh Wozza stream now. Oh, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah, Tractor Boy, it's not called feedback, it's bounced ideas for each other. You know, kind of how what we did just about the Forge and Beachcomber. Yeah, it happens, it works. Going down the idea of actually conversating about things is mental. Yeah, there's some tracks that sent me plenty of things I'm like, nah. I think he sent me something the other day, and I was like, why are you testing in Zone 15? Don't send me Zone 15 things saying that's good. I don't want to know about Zone 15. You know, but yeah. Kill sucker, your mouth is for eating, not for discussing. What? Is that some sort of phrase from something or somewhere? What the hell are you on about? Of course it is. Cool. Right, next thing up. So yes, we're going to do 5-star batches rated. So even now I'm like, which way do I want to do it? But this is the way I decided to do it. So let's go with that. So cool. So literally, we've also seen the tier lists. So we'll let you go through bot by bot. I'm going to go and find them, which is going to be amazing in this massive thing of bots. But I presume in sort of order of release, which should be quite easy. But we're going to go through batch by batch. I did the old thing where I sort of rated the batches and scored them. But to be honest with you, it just looks a bit crappy. And I think that, you know, people want something they can sort of screenshot and go like, oh, listen, this is what Wozza done. Bang. And, you know, sort of, you know, have it sort of that they can see and screenshot and share with people and things like that, rather than some crappy Excel document. But I understand the Excel document probably works better for looking at which batch to go for. But the way I want to do it is we'll do these 5-star batches rated one by one. So we're only rating the 5 stars. And then you can look at that and see how many bots that I've ranked where they should, you know, higher up than lower. So we'll do it that way rather than the old way of scoring them and looking a bit crappy. But listen, if you think that the old way were better, the Excel version, then next time we do this, I can look at that more and try and liven it up a bit. But if you prefer the tier list like this, then let me know in the chat, and we'll stick to the tier list and do it that way. But so coming straight back in. So first off, we've got Silverbolt. So I'm only doing bots. I apologise. I haven't got the room for the cons as well. I'm not going to lie to you. So I am just going to do bots because it gets a bit more difficult with cons as well. Because with cons, you've got the combiners, which makes it a bit different. If you watch the last one I did, I was like, oh, well, actually, I'd put him there a bit higher. So I'm not going to do the cons, sadly. So if you're a con, I do apologise. I am going to maybe hit freezes up and say, can you do the Decepticon version of it? Can you do the Decepticon side? Be a lot easier for him to do the Decepticon side and me to do the Autobot side. And I try and do that a bit. I used to do Autobots and Decepticons, but now I'm like, let freezes do the cons. It's fine. Or you can watch mine and work out the con alternative. So we can go from there. But first off, we've got Silverbolt. So I think Silverbolt's got quite a lot of use recently and probably jumped up a bit because people at a high level especially not using the anti-stun build bots as much, and all of a sudden we're using anti-acid and anti-fire and anti-water, and then the FFD all for sort of ruination and to stop people using the Titans. I think Silverbolt's got a lot more use recently, so I don't think he's like unbelievable, but I think if you pull Silverbolt right now, then yeah, I'd be pretty pleased with him, especially at high levels in the game. Next up we have Gnaw, so I'll have to try and find it. There we go. So Gnaw, I'd be like probably not the best. Maybe be happy. Yeah, I'd say yeah, I'd be happy with Gnaw. I won't be disappointed. I'd say yeah, I think that's fair. Be happy, but there's better bots out there. Really good for like Zen farming. I know I said okay for resource farming, but I think he's one of the best bots for resource farming and has a use, not at the very highest levels. But I think no doubt if you're in zone, 15, then Gnaw's going to be an absolute beast. So we look at this sometimes and think of top players, but I'm thinking about even lower level players, mid level players. I'm going to get use out of him, and I think that Gnaw is good at most levels rather than right at the top. Next up, we've got Hot Rod. So Hot Rod, I'd probably be happy, but there's better bots out there. He was really good at one time. Maybe even need to chase this because people are putting him next to certain defenses and protecting them. It can get a bit fiddly now because there's easier ways to take out the cluster. Because people just really struggled before, you'd put Hot Rod next to it, make it double as hard. Whereas now, people are finding it really easy to take that cluster out. It's got a lot easier. And so Hot Rod's fell away a bit. I think that if HQ19 was to come out and defense was to get a bit of a HP upgrade, we might see Hot Rod increase a bit again. But right now, as it is, I think Hot Rod's right around there. Then we've got Grimlock. So Grimlock, I would probably say not the best, but okay for resource farming. There's better tanks out there. I mean, it's a shame that Grimlock's down there. But yeah, I'd only really use him for resource farming, really. I don't think he's quite at the level of Gnaw and Hot Rod, there or thereabouts. I mean, I suppose you could interchange a few of these in between these two, but I think he's a bit below that. Then we've got Sunstreaker. So again, not the best. Probably okay for resource farming. Does AoE damage. So yeah, decent for like doing a bit of Zen farming or something, or put him in a team for resources. So yeah, not too bad. Then we've got obviously Optimus Prime. So I mean, I wouldn't say we need to chase this, but I think he's good, but probably not a target bot. But I mean, who's not happy with Optimus Prime though? He is the main guy from the franchise, so I'll put Optimus Prime up there. Next up, we have Windblade. If I can find Windblade. Oh, Jesus. Where's Windblade? We're going to find this a few times where I start struggling here. There we go. Windblade. So, Windblade, I mean, yeah, probably good for resource farming. I mean, very good for Zen farming. You can also jump a lot on the base and get back to the back. Not awful, but not amazing. Obviously a single hit target with a bit of AoE, but nothing crazy. So I think that's warranted for her. Then we've got Drift. I can find Drift. Apologies, guys. Then we've got Drift. So for Drift, I'd probably say good, but not the target bot. I don't think anyone's going into that batch thinking I definitely want Drift. I think they're probably going for Optimus. It probably is a target bot, but not for a good reason because he's just Optimus, basically. So I think Drift is good. And it's honestly not a target bot. I mean, I think them two will be in there, but I don't think you're going to look at batch 2 and go, I want to go batch 2 for Drift or for Optimus. But then put him in your war team. I don't know. Then we've got Wheeljack. Wheeljack's up there. Yeah, definitely a newer one. So I'd say, yeah. I'd maybe say no. I think it's a hard one because I think at high levels of the game, you probably say good, but not the target bot. But I'd say about the same. So them three, I think, will be pretty decent. But I think at lower levels of the game, you don't really need healers, and so lower levels of the game, I think, be happy with the better bots out there. You don't really want a healer, so I'm more inclined to put him down there. And also just looks nice in this way. But yeah, I think that if you're looking at lower levels of the game, I'm talking like HQ 16 and below, then I think Wheeljack's sort of warranted in the where he is. Then we've got Skyburst. So personally, I think Skyburst goes in. Sorry, don't smash up your phone. Skyburst's really awful, honestly. Like the ability just to spread of bullets, and that's about it, really. Yes, you could use gunner combats, things like that. But I'll be honest with you, when I was getting this batch together, I've written the batch out, and then I was like, who else is in this batch? And I sat there for a good minute or two and had to go and look on the game because I weren't sure. That says how much I forgot that Skyburst was even in this batch. She's the first 5-star that I pulled, and she's not even level. She's not even like at level 65, I don't think. I think she was just past 60. I think she's 61 or 62, which says a lot when I've had her for like 7 years. I mean, I said alternate guys. So yeah, not the biggest fan personally. Next up we have Jazz. I can find Jazz. I'm sure he's around here somewhere at the top. So the problem is, we're going to go down and get rid of all the cons and end up with just bots left, aren't we? So Jazz, I think, sorry, don't smash your phone up. I really do. I think that he was amazing at one time. But there's bots out there that do a lot more damage for a lot lower cost nowadays. I think that cost is ridiculously high for Jazz. So I don't think you really want Jazz at all. Next up, we've got Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus again. I think don't smash your phone up. I think lower level players might say you're a bit mad, Wozza, but I think people will soon realise that his pathing is awful, his ability is inconsistent. So there's a reason that people have said this bot needs a legacy rework desperately, and I really do feel after the likes of Cyclonus and Powerglide, once they've had their legacy rework, I think we'll see Ultra Magnus next. But it's going to be a huge task, and I think that's it all, really. So I think Ultra Magnus goes in there. Next, we've got Springer. I'm sure there's people in the chat going, he's there, like sort of panto. He's over there. Definitely up here somewhere, Springer. There he is. There we go. I'm just putting there for now. That's not the case though. So Springer, I'd say good, but probably not the target bot. That's probably badly worded. Because it probably is a target bot out of this batch, but that's not a good reason to go for this batch. He's decent. If I wanted any bot out of this batch, it would be Springer. But I don't think he's this level either. I think it's around there. So I think that's warranted. Next up, we've got Cheeto. Cheeto will be in the middle here somewhere. So for Cheeto, I think, yeah. Maybe there. Maybe there. I think it's a hard one. He's poor anyway. Let's be honest. I mean, yeah, he's going to struggle with resource farming even. I think he dies too quickly. At lower levels, he's pretty decent, but once you get to zone 15 and above, then Cheeto really, really struggles to even stay alive. So I think Cheeto, when I actually got him, I was pretty disappointed. Then he got a real good buff soon afterwards. I was absolutely buzzing. He was in my war team. It was amazing. That was like 5 years ago, and he's just fell and fell and fell since. And sadly, I think that Cheeto just doesn't live up to it, sadly. Next up, we've got Firefly. I think that he's alright. He does what he should. He can one-shot targets at lower levels, which is obviously important. Not for higher levels, though. At higher levels, if we're doing higher levels, we'd be down here, maybe down there. But we've got to think of mid-level players as well. I don't think he's good resource farming, but I think he's alright. I think he's one of the better bots in the batch, especially ability 11. I think he's got a decent ability 11 as well. Probably one of the better ability 11s in the game. Not in terms of the ability 11 makes him unbelievable, but I think once you get this bot, you have to get him to ability 11 to him to be really, really good. That's what I'm saying. The difference from 10 to 11 is warranted and worth a spark. That's what I'm trying to say. So, really, really good. Then we've got Elite 1. So, Elite 1, I would say probably good, but not the target bot. Well, maybe she is the target bot for a lot of people. I think she's decent, but not unbelievably good. I mean, sometimes back in the day, I think she was up here, but obviously fell away a bit. But I think she is very good, especially at lower levels. She can take out massive chunks of the base, easy to level, good for Zen farming. People still use her a bit in war even, not how much, but still a really good bot. Blaster surely up here somewhere, surely. I think it wasn't one of the originals, but it was quite modern. Somewhere around here somewhere. He's over there. Where's Blaster? There he is. So, Blaster, I think good. He's still really, really good. I wouldn't say you have to chase it, Obviously, he was at a recent event where they gave away 5-star Blaster and Soundwave, so really good bot still. But I wouldn't say like you need to chase this. You need to go and do batch 4 and go and get Blaster. I wouldn't go that far. Next up we have Sludge. So Sludge, I would say, sorry, don't smash your phone up. I know we had the Russian Smash, Slush attack. Sorry, back then. They're not as popular right now as they were, with a lot of the high damage MDS with the latest increase, things like that. Sludge has really struggled, so I think it's one of the few bots in the batch that you don't really want. Quite poor. Then we got Brawl. I think Brawl is probably a bit below Firefly for the simple reason that I just prefer Firefly jets because of range, things like that, cost, everything. I mean, you probably could put Brawl up there, but I think not the best. He's average, but the way gunners are going now, I think there's a lot better gunners out there. And then we've got Ratchet. So I'm going to put Ratchet in the same place as Wheeljack. He's up here in here. The reason for that is sort of same reason that at high levels he's really decent. Wouldn't say like again you need to chase it, but I think he's decent at higher levels. But obviously at lower levels healers are not as warranted. So I think you'll find if you're like a HQ 14 and below, you'll pull Ratchet and you'll be like, what the hell? But then if you're a HQ 18 and pull Ratchet, you'll be like, yeah, I don't mind that. I can make use of that. So yeah, definitely put him there. Around here somewhere. Trying to find Snarl. Snarl's around here somewhere. Definitely with the Dinobots. There he is. So next up is Snarl. Snarl is definitely a sorry, don't smash your phone up. I know lower level, some players might like him, but this guy's had everything thrown at him. G1 core, he's had a buff, he's had ability 11. He's had the lot, and he's still really awful. So one of the few bots that you really don't want to get. Next, we've got Rodimus Prime. So I think he's around here somewhere. I think Rodimus Prime. Where's Rodimus Prime? I think Rodimus is alternative. Where's Rodimus Prime? He's around here somewhere. Definitely is around here somewhere. I'm sure someone in the chat. It's like, where's Wally, innit? It's like, where's Wally? And someone's like, oh my god, Wozza, how can you not see him? But I'm also trying to rush, you see. I'm trying to think, like, oh, I need to go through, so slow down. Rodimus. 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 There we go. So Rodimus, again, I would say, sorry, don't smash your phone up. Really poor addition now. It had a sort of place in the game, but we're finding like Russian smashes, things like that, are sort of falling away, and it's not as powerful as it once was. Now we've got sort of combats that do that sort of AoE in an area. I just find that they're probably just as warranted as him, without obviously using the ability points. So not very good at all. Next we've got Warpath. So down here somewhere, Warpath, yeah. So Warpath, I think, is the first bot that we'll put in. You need to chase this. I literally pulled from this batch just to get Warpath, and I think I pulled 2-3 pulls just to get him. Absolutely amazing. Takes out a massive chunk of the base. You know, his obviously ability is infinite, so it goes through the entire base. So I know a lot of people in top wars that still use Warpath to this day. I think Warpath is the first edition of like, you need to chase. It's a really good bot. Next up, we've got Perceptor. So Perceptor has his uses. We talked previously about counters to Beachcomber and hacking. But I would probably go as not the best. He's okay. I mean, he could even go here, to fair. Yeah, I'm going to put him there. Yeah. Not a big fan. I mean, to fair, like, he's available for me, him and RC. And that'll give you an idea where RC is going next. And I have literally not gone back to that batch, and I have left them and don't plan on doing. So I think that says a lot, really, and that's what's convinced me to put him there. Then we've got RC, and exactly the same reason. We've got better bots like Rook to go for in better batches. and so you really don't want to pull these bots. And like I said, that's why it sort of says how much I think of Warpath, that I actually chanced getting these guys to go and get Warpath, which says a lot. And Warpath is definitely the beacon of that batch. Next up, we've got First Aid. So let me have a look. Let me find him first. This is getting quite difficult now that all the cons are in here. It's going to be like a needle in a haystack. But definitely around here somewhere, because this is the release of Sector Bots was around here somewhere. So First Aid, there we go. So First Aid, I'd probably put him around here below the healers. He's not as good as the healers. It's obviously an AoE heal. The Medibots are okay, but negated by FFD once you get to higher levels. So I'd say not the best. He's okay. You can put him in a team if you want. I wouldn't say like I'd be absolutely disappointed to get a healer, but for the same reasons that at lower levels, healers aren't as warranted, and for higher levels, people don't want First Aid anyway. So I'd put First Aid there. Next up, we have Hotspot. So Hotspot, probably the same again. Not the best. Okay for resource farming. I honestly do think that he'll get a legacy rework. Could maybe put him down here, but he's still a tank, I think, and I think Russian Warriors are decent, but he's one of the ones that no, I'm struggling. No, sorry to smash your phone up. Pretty awful. Yeah, he hasn't got that shield that other ones have got, because he's got the reflect. Probably the worst out of the Russian Warriors so far, so yeah, I'd probably put him down there. Next up, Sandstorm. So Sandstorm, I'd probably put good. I don't think he needs to chase this. Don't think he's like unbelievable, but he's really, really good. Lots of healing, lots of damage. Obviously, equips good combats. So yeah, I would definitely say that, you know, he's one of the bots in the batch. I would say he's actually the target bot of this batch. Which I need to sort of change that. I think I need to change it to not to change this sort of description. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, good, but better bots in other batches. I think that is more fair. But then it's the same as that. I'm going to change this. There we go. There we go. In this batch. Yeah. Be happy, but there's better in this batch. Yeah, because I think there is. I think in most of these is better batches, better bots in the batch that you can get. Yeah, more happy with that one. Yeah. Next up we have Goldfire. So Goldfire was absolutely amazing at one time. But has dropped and dropped and dropped. And I don't think it's this stage. I think at lower levels, I think without MSM, if MSM wasn't in the game, I would put him up here. I really do, but MSM really knocks him down. And so I'd say not the best, but okay, resource farming is, because again, if there's no resource farming or doesn't take high damage, then the amount of damage that Goldfire does is absolutely immense. But obviously, like I said, a big part of that is obviously MSMs that have killed him. Next. Around here somewhere. Rust Dust. So now we're up to Victoria on them sort of releases. So we're looking around here somewhere, I think. This is the hard bit, is find the bot. This is half the game. Should just make a game, find that bot, and have a competition on that. So around here somewhere then, because we've got jump stream there. We've got there we go. So we got Rust Dust. So I'd say yeah. Oh, there maybe. Not the best, but okay. I mean, she does have good AoE damage to be fair. She can have ranged combats. So I mean, I think scouts as a class are struggling a bit. Hence why we've got Perceptor down there, and we've got Rust Dust still down there. Scouts are really struggling and need something. But yeah, I think okay for resource farming. I don't think it's just quite a big area damage with ability 11, and does a lot of damage in an area. I don't think it's warranted that you're going to really be useless and put it down there. So I think not the best, but okay for resource farming, that's warranted. Then we've got blades. I know people in high wars that still use blades to this day. if I can find blades. So I would definitely think blades would go in the good bots, but better bots in other batches. And better bots probably even in his batch as well, to be honest with you. Very, very good bot, no doubt. But obviously, as an anti-hack core, it causes a few issues. But I think at very high levels, he struggles sometimes, but then sometimes it can be useful. So, you know, it's one of those bots that in certain situations could be absolutely devastating, and in others, not that useful. So I think it's warranted that, yeah, I won't be disappointed pulling him, put it that way. Next, we've got Laser Optimus. So, Laser Optimus, I mean, does he go in here? Need to chase this? Does he go in there? I mean, I've seen a lot of players at low levels now using Laser Optimus in wars. A lot. He does a lot of damage. But I know at the very top level, people don't use him. So, yeah, I think there. I think if there was something in between that, I think he would go in between. Somewhere there. But we can't. So I don't think it's warranted to go, you need to chase this. Like, this is not like, I would not be like, oh, go and pull from that batch, go and get Laser Optimus. But I think if you pull him, you're not going to be unhappy. So I think it's warranted. I think that's where we should be. Very, very good damage. Next up, we've got Jetfire. So Jetfire, I think same as Firefly, really. I think, yeah, he's all right. You know, same as Firefly. He's okay, but like I said, there's better bots in this batch and in other batches, so I think that's sort of warranted. It's okay. Next up, whcih back. That's what's next up. Rhinox. So Rhinox is still in this sort of Beast War sort of area around here somewhere. There he is. So Rhinox, I think Rhinox can be good, but better bots in other batches. Again, same as Laser Optimus, I think he's very, very good. Used to be a massive meta having Laser Optimus and Rhinox in your outpost bots, as outpost bots. Sorry, I don't think so much anymore. I think it's warranted there. He's good, but I wouldn't say it's like essential. And then last off, we've got Smokescreen. Now, for me, I think Smokescreen is a need to have. I think he's unbelievable at taking build bots out. His range is incredible. His damage with glitch is unbelievable. He's great against outpost bots, trying to get through outpost bots. Not so good against Beachcomber. Really struggles because he does such high damage. And Beachcomber reflects. And Beachcomber is like the meta on defense. That he really sort of dies a death quite quickly and distracts your healers and can be a real problem against Beachcomber. But outside of that, I don't think you'll find a better bot for taking out build bots, finishing off defenses, doing high damage. So I think Smokescreen really is a, you need to go and get this bot. Very, very good. Next up, so I think we're looking up quite high up here actually for Swoop. Swoop and Scourge. So probably easy to find Scourge and one to but maybe not. So we've got Swoop. So I think Swoop is a good bot, but better in other batches, but more for defense. I think for attack, you could be maybe down here somewhere, but I think I've used it for Zen Farm in the past, but for defense, not many better bots. So I think there, yeah, I think you're happy with it. I think there is better in this batch, like I said, with other bots. But yeah, I think that's warranted. I think Swoop can go there. Very good on defense, though. If we're talking defense, it'd be up maybe here somewhere. But we're talking for everything. I know some people won't just get him for defense. So there's that. Next up, we've got Impactor. Impactor, I think, sort of same as Swoop. He's not quite as good as Laser Optimus. Still does a decent amount of damage. But he's not quite hit the heights of Laser Op, I don't think. Still okay though, not bad. Next up we've got Rook. Now in previous videos, Rook for me has been top tier. I actually feel like he's fell down a bit. I feel like he's dying a lot faster. I feel like now we've got the Russian Warriors, they're sort of taking the hits and lasting a lot longer. And I'm more inclined. I even thought about dropping Rook from my war team and having 2 rushing warriors rather than using Rook, which is a first for me. I've never considered that. Rook's been a staple in my war team, but I think he's kind of dropped down a bit because you don't have that protection, that shield that the rushing warriors have. So I think he's dropped down slightly, I think. Next, we've got Sea Spray. Sea Spray is an unbelievable bot. I would still rate him up here. I think there's been later content, which we'll talk about shortly, that's surpassed him and made him a bit less relevant. But there's no denying that he does incredible damage and still on a lot of people's war teams. So I think that Sea Spray is the pick of the batch, without doubt. Then we got Bumblebee. I think Bumblebee has probably gone down a bit. Again, Scout's struggling. There's a lot more damage within the game at high levels. I mean, he is really cheap, so you could maybe put him up there, maybe. Yeah, I think that's more warranted because he is really, really cheap and does a great lot of damage. I think if you're looking at damage per ability cost, then B will be quite high up. But that survivability factor drags him down a bit. Next, we've got Skylinks. So, Skylinks, I think be happy with his better bets. But there's better in this batch. I think that at lower levels, there's incredible damage and people can use them at lower levels to take out big chunks. But then once you get to the later levels, it gets a bit frustrating. But again, I could sit here and talk about a top player perspective and drop all these bots really lower. But I'm talking from like mid-level players and low-level players as well. And I think that you'll speak to a lot of mid to low-level players and they'll say how good Skylinks is because of the amount of damage he does. Where I speak to high-level players, not so much. You won't see him in top wars at all. So I think, yeah, he's alright. I won't be disappointed pulling him. But he goes there. Next, we've got Red Alert. So, Red Alert was massive on defense, but I think... Does he go down here? Does he stay up there still? I think he goes down there now. I think he's fell down quite a bit. I think he was a must-have at one point. But I feel like now, as soon as he sort of pops out, you can still take out defenses, even though they're shielded with him, with certain bots, because of the amount of damage they do nowadays. So I don't think he's as good on defense anymore. I think obviously FFD still negates him, but FFD are a bit less prevalent. But yeah, I think be happy with him. I won't pull him and be disappointed. But I think there are better bots in this batch, without a doubt. Then we've got Brainstorm. Now we're struggling a bit, aren't we? Brainstorm down here, I think, a bit. All these combats are annoying. I wish I could delete them off, actually, but I can't. That I know of. But yeah, because someone else's tier list that I'm using. But hey, should maybe use my own, really. Shouldn't have been lazy. Where's Brainstorm? Definitely around here somewhere, surely. Not this far down, is it? Is this far down? No, he's not that far down. No. Brainstorm, there he is. Got it in the end. Brainstorm. I think it's good for the cluster for some low level players, maybe. Not as top tier as he once was. But yeah, very good at taking out sections. Very good in sort of like, you know, even Zen Farm and all that. Do we put him down there? Not sure he's a warbot anymore, but I think that's alright. I think he's one of them bots that like you can be using really good situations. Next we've got Pipes. I mean, that's an easy one. Pipes still goes up there. Still one of the best bots in the game. Still unbelievably good. So straight to the top for Pipes. That shield is ridiculous. Next we've got Slash. It's getting harder and harder now. Slash will be around here somewhere, I think. There we go. Yeah. So Slash, I think be happy. I won't be disappointed pulling Slash. I think there are better bots. I mean, good for Zen farming. You could probably use them in wars. Definitely wars at low level. but not at high levels. But I think that yeah, I think Slash is alright. I don't think I've always liked Slash. Does incredible damage, good in outpost if you've not got other options. But I wouldn't say amazing up there, but I definitely wouldn't say really poor down here. But yeah. Next up, we've got Six Gun. So Six Gun, I think good, but other bots better in better batches. Obviously quite expensive. I think that's his one sort of downfall, but obviously really good at taking out defenses for low level players again that don't have other options. But yeah, I think really good. Next up, we've got Minerva. John, go do actually. Give me a minute. I'm gonna move some of these. Sorry, guys, but yeah. Ones that have 5-star versions, I'm gonna move them all up actually. Make it a bit easier to find them. Jesus, yeah, there's not a lot left, is there? Sorry, guys. Jesus, yeah, there's nothing any point because as we go down, like there's none left. They're all 4-star versions. Obviously some bots that aren't in batches like Cosmos that we aren't going to cover because or maybe we should actually. I might go around them in the end. Go through some bots that aren't in batches maybe. Might as well. But for now, anyway, let's go back to it. Let's go back to Minerva. Let's try and find Minerva now. So Minerva, we're looking at, I think, around this section here. I think maybe a bit lower down. Are we looking at here? Yep, Minerva, yeah. Jesus, look at this. Minerva, I think, is definitely, you need to chase this. I think even if you're a lower level player, you can't not go for Minerva. Even to this day, the best healer in the game. Absolutely immense. That healing tower is incredible. And a staple on my war team. Absolutely immense. Next, we've got SG Jetfire. Oh, this is the killer, trying to find these bleeding bots. SG Jetfire, I think. I think. Yeah, be happy, but there's better in this batch. Yeah, he's okay. Quite expensive though. Fell away quite a bit by bit because of how expensive he is, and just better options. Which again, that's how it sort of should be, really. To be fair. Strafe Computron should be up here somewhere, I think. Where's the Computron bots? I took them all out by now. I think they're all in batches, so yeah. Strafe. So Strafe, I think, down here. Not the best, but probably okay for resource farming, maybe at a push, but I don't think he's smash up your phone. I don't think you pull him and go like that's absolutely useless, but he's definitely one of the worst ones in the batch without a doubt. Then we've got Dinobot. Dinobot should be around here somewhere, I think, with the Beast Wars releases. If I can find him. Dinobot, where are you? Definitely around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I'm sure I'm not in log chat. I'm sure there's people in chat going like, "He's over there." So Dinobot, I think, yeah, be happy. He's okay, but he's better in this batch, which is true. So I think he goes there. I think he's warranted. Next up, we got Ironhide, one of the few originals left. I think Ironhide can literally go into like you need to chase this really. I'm not a big fan because I've got pipes, so I think with the electric billboard, I should probably put in there compared to the other ones, but I think it's still warranted. I think if you go for this batch, then you really do want Ironhide. Next up, we've got Hound, who is one of the originals, so it should be up here somewhere. So Hound, I think this is a sorry don't smash it with your phone. Really, really poor, really. We thought that resource builders would give him a really good use, but not so much, quite crap, really, monster. Then we've got Blur. So Blur should be down here somewhere, I think, or maybe just past it. There we go. So Blur, I think, Yeah, I think he's good, but I think there's better bots in other batches. And I think that it's good for resource farming. Can be used in wars, really. People aren't using flare mines, which people don't really use as much. So I think blue has some decent uses. Then we've got Twin Twist. So definitely down here somewhere. It's a lot of scrolling now, this. So Twin Twist, I think, is a must on defense. But outside of that, not so good. So I think I've got to put him there. I think for defense alone, you've got to chase him. I think it's one of them bots that's a must-have. There's other bots that you can put in outposts, but I think you've got to have Twin Twist in outposts, even to this day. I know there's some new metas coming out with outpost bots that are maybe even more OP, but I think that Twin Twist on defense is a must-have. So I would say, like, you know, you need to sort of chase this content. Next, we have Slingshot. Sorry for the pauses, guys. But Slingshot is definitely around here somewhere. I think it's later than Punch and Counter Punch, so it's definitely later than that. So I think Slingshot is definitely around here somewhere, but not new either. So around here somewhere. Where's Slingshot? I think I'm looking the wrong area. There we go, yeah. So Slingshot, I think he's good. But again, there are other bots in the batches. Still really good use for that acid and that fire. So still a really good bot. Next up, we've got the one and only Star Saber. So let's look at some big images. So Star Saber, I think, not the best. Still really expensive. Okay at lower levels. Should be happy with him. Not so much really. Maybe in there, maybe. I think. Are you happy with Star Saber? Amount of damage. I think at low levels, yes. I think that's warranted. Put him in there. There are better bots in other batches. Better even in this batch. So definitely, yeah, I think that's fair. Next, we've got Top Spin. So then we're looking at the Computron bots. Not Computron bots. Ruination bots. So should be down here somewhere, I think. That's Top Spin, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, am I losing my mind? Yeah, Top Spin, yeah. Yeah. I lose my head here? Yeah, Top Spin, yeah. Sorry, off my mind for a minute then. Top Spin, I think not the best. It's probably okay for resource farming. Lowers damage, things like that, but it's fell away from the meta quite quickly. Never really got going. Next up, we've got Skids. This video's going to need a lot of editing with this sort of stop and start. I definitely need to do my own tier list and get rid of all these cons and combats and everything next time around, without a doubt. So apologies, guys. I didn't think it'd be this slow. Skids around here somewhere, I think. Definitely around here. Grapple, a bit higher than that, I think. So crankcase, hoist. It was around that time, surely, I think. Scattershot. Skids. Where the hell is Skids? Oh, is here. There we go. So Skids, I think the acid is still really good. I think it's a good bot. I think it does high damage. Even with the anti-acid cores, I still think it's a really good bot. So I think, yeah, good bot. But I think, yeah, there is better bots in other batches. But in terms of this batch, I think it's a really good bot. Next, we've got Air Raid. I think Air Raid, I don't think you need to chase him. I don't think it's quite that high. Again, I think this is one of them bots that is in there somewhere in between. I think he's very, very good. Very useful at most high levels. Can desolate a lot of areas. But I don't think you need to chase this. I don't think someone's going to this batch and going, I have to get Air Raid and pulling bots from this batch. And these bots here I would literally say keep pulling till you get Minerva, keep pulling till you get Pipes. I would say that for all these, but I wouldn't say that about Air Raid. I wouldn't say let's go into batch 12 and get Air Raid. You know, but I think if you're going for batch 12, you want this guy. So I think that's warranted just there. Then we've got Hoist. I think Hoist is similar. I think Hoist is good, but again, there's better bots in other batches. I wouldn't really go to this batch just to get Hoist, but if you do go for this batch, I think Hoist is one of the ones you do want out of the batch. Next, we've got Rotor Storm. So definitely down here somewhere. This is sort of the newer age of bots down here. Rotor Storm. So Rotor Storm, I'd say, yeah, be happy. Does decent damage. It's a bit more than Strafe, to be fair. So yeah, I would put him above Strafe. But again, there are better bots in other batches. Dead simple. Roadbuster. Roadbuster, I think, is definitely I need to chase. Still does amazing damage. Still does incredible damage to single target. I think it's the only bot in the game that can take out those targets single-handedly. I think you'll find him in most people's war team. So I think a must-have. Next up, we've got Scatter Shot. I do see some people saying he has some good uses. I don't really see it. So I'm going to say put him be happy, but it's better in other batches, in this batch even. Which again is true, because there are a lot better bots in this batch. Next up. Next up, Optimal Optimus. Optimal Optimus. Jokes. I think definitely you need to chase this. Incredible damage, especially ability 11. It's unbelievable the damage that it does. And yeah, definitely up there with the best bots in the game. And then we have Sentius. So I think Sentius goes in with Rotor Storm. Yeah, be happy with it. It's decent, but there is better bots out there to go and chase. Next up, we have Whirl. Definitely down here somewhere, Whirl. Sure of it. Whirl. Yeah, definitely sort of the new age. This is what I call the new age of bots, really. When we sort of turned the corner, I started changing the way bots were. Oh, it's definitely around here somewhere, Whirl. Definitely. Don't think it's this low. It's not this year. It's definitely a couple of years ago. It's definitely around here somewhere. Well, there we go. I told you. So, well, I think because he has two abilities, you can be happy. Kind of like a triple changer. That I think you'd be happy with Whirl. That he does good damage on both his abilities, a gunner. So I don't think he's like amazing, but I think he's okay. Next we've got Brawn. Which would be pretty easy if I can find full tilt. There we go. So Brawn I really liked, but I think not the best. I wouldn't smash your phone up for getting Brawn, but I think not the best. Has great range, but yeah, just never quite. Again, these sort of scouts, I think the scouts need something in the game to make them more viable. I mean, he's cheap, so you could maybe put him in there, be happy with him, but I just think he gets expensive for 6 ability points for 1 defense. It doesn't have the sort of cost that B does, that's why it's a bit lower. Next up we have Aerial. So for Aerial, don't care what anyone says, we're going in there. For the simple reason that she still doesn't work as she should. How she should work is, you target a defense, once it's destroyed, you get the buff. How she's working at the minute is you target a defense, she gets a buff. Once that target is destroyed, the buff goes away. It doesn't work as it should. She was deemed as another Optimus Prime, but literally does not work as she should. I've done a few videos on it. I've told Space Ape and nothing's changed. So why would you go for a bot that doesn't work? So literally down there. Next we have Inferno. So Inferno, I think not the best. Not even good for resource farming though, but I think he's not the best. But I think that he has a use in some high level war teams. But I think if you're lower level, he's pretty much useless. So I'm not going to sit here and say that you should go and chase him or he's good. Because at lower levels, I think he's going to be actually useless until you start getting higher in the game. And then you might actually see him being used. So I think Inferno's probably, like I said, not for resource farming. But I think he's probably warranted at that level. Then we've got Tiger Hawk. Tiger Hawk's up here actually. I know he was a later release in the 5-star batch, but he's actually came into the game a lot sooner. So Tiger Hawk, I think, not the best. Similar to Swoop, but not quite as good as Swoop. Or is he as good as Swoop? I don't know. It doesn't seem to have the same range as Swoop for some reason. It doesn't do. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. If you run his numbers and look at him and things like that, he seems to be better than Swoop. But people don't use him on defense. I don't know why. I think it might be the stun. I don't know. But Tiger Hawk he just seems to be not quite at the level of Swoop. So I wouldn't be happy with him. But I want to do a bit more testing with Tiger Hawk and maybe level him, put him in an outpost and see how it goes. I might just do a video on it and see. Because I don't understand how he's not that good. Next up we have Slug. So Slug, definitely top tier. You need to chase this. Up there with Pipes is probably the best bot in the game in terms of rushing warriors. Very, very good. Can't say that enough. Next we have Alpha Trion. So I know some people that like Alpha Trion. I am not one of those people. And I'm literally going to put, sorry, don't smash your phone. I think he's awful. The fact that he buffs other bots, these bots that empower other bots should be super cheap. And the fact that he does a build damage for one, DPS for another, HP for another, healing for a healer. Yeah, it's okay when you're in a cluster, things like that. Maybe even towards Beachcomber, I'm willing to test it. But outside of that, he ain't doing anything. He ain't doing resource farming, ain't doing nothing. So I'm literally going to put him right down there. Next up, we have Retgar. So I think the fact that Acid counters Retgar makes him not as good as probably he should be. I think he should be probably up there with Minerva maybe. But I'm probably going to put him as be happy but is better in this batch. And I think that's the case. I would definitely rather get Slug than Retgar. And hence why I haven't pulled Retgar. He's still there left for me to pull if I want to. And haven't pulled him. So not the biggest fan. Next up, Afterbreaker. So now I'm just looking at bots now really because there's not many bots left, and I'm sure Afterbreaker's around here somewhere. Computron bots. So yeah, definitely around here. That's defense up bots. Is it just around a bit later than that? Is it around here somewhere? Computron was released there, so if they've done it in order, the people have done this. Afterbreaker should be around here somewhere. But it could be anywhere. Where's Wally? Where the hell is... It should be down here. It can't be after Computron. Is someone messed up? Am I messing up? Am I just blind? Am I blind? Am I? I tell you what, if Afterbreaker's not here, I'll be fuming. Because literally, I had to go and... I can't even put him in. You better be here. Someone knackered up? Where's my car? Where's the Afterbreaker? I was literally going to sit here for 10 minutes trying to find Afterbreaker. Afterbreaker from Flame War. Hey, there he is. He's here. He's alright. There he is. So Afterbreaker. I'm going to put him in there, I think. Be happy, but he's better in other batches. I think he's got good use for sacking. But that's it. but he is probably the best bot in the game for sacking. So I understand at higher levels is going to be really useful, but I think at lower levels is pretty awful for lower players. So I'm not willing to say he's good. And there is better in this batch. There is. You don't want him, you want Slug. So I think definitely around that sort of mid area. Then we've got Grapple. So big yellow bot. I think we'll find this quite... I'm not going to say that because then I won't find him and look like an idiot. Grapple. There we go. Big yellow bot. Yeah, we like big yellow bots. I'm doing this. Grapple up there. So Grapple, I don't think he's as good as Rook, so I think we'll put him in here. I think I'd be happy. He's okay, but there is better in this batch. I think that's warranted. I think that's true. So definitely put him there. Then we're on to the most current batch. So first off, Nose Cone. So Nose Cone, I think, has to go straight up into you need to chase this. Absolutely amazing bot up there with the likes of Slug and Pipes and goes through walls like butter. Got his rework as part of the legacy and was an absolute success. I think he's now one of the best bots in the game. Absolutely amazing. Then we have Huffer, who should be quite high up really, because he's one of the wasn't the original bot, but it was released quite early in the game, so it should be quite high up here. There we go. So Huffer, I think, be happy, but again, there's better in this batch. I think that's true. I don't think he's good. I think he's okay. He's one of the one that I didn't want out of this batch. That makes it sort of, warranted where he is. Then we've got Beachcomber. So I think Beachcomber goes straight into you need to chase this. The quintessential outpost bot right now in the game. Absolutely immense and definitely a bot that you need to have in your team on defense. On attack, he's pretty good, he's alright, but on defense is unbelievable, literally to the point where people are crying out for counters. Is that OP. Next up we have Leo Prime. Leo Prime, just put up here a minute. Leo Prime is probably the best bot in the game on attack right now. Unbelievable damage that he's doing and a crazy amount of range. So definitely you need to chase this, which you'll find in this batch. There's quite a good few bots, and hence why I've done a recent video saying you should go and chase this batch. Unbelievable. Then we've got Blue Streak. And Blue Streak again goes into you need to chase this. I literally cashed in all my 5-star shards for this batch, for Nose Cone, for Beachcomber, for Leo Prime, for Blue Streak. Absolutely unbelievable bots that you should go and chase. And that's why I keep saying go for this current batch, guys. It's unbelievable, honestly. Now let's pick up some other 5-stars that we've got. We'll go through. So let's just have a look. We'll go bit by bit. So apologies for going through. If I miss any, let me know. No Skydive, no Powerglide, no Alpha Bravo. Paramagna, no. Dust Up, no. Jump Stream, no. Combiners. Let's have a look. Side Swipe. Any more? Let's have a look. So, Monkey Prime. Sorry, don't smash your phone up. Absolutely terrible. I would even go as far as saying don't waste your Shanix. At one point, you didn't have anything to spend Shanix on, so you did. But I would literally say, like, don't bother, guys. Literally, spend your Shanix on elsewhere. Really, really poor. Let's keep going. Cosmos. I mean, he's not in batches, but I'd be like, yeah, he's okay getting. I want Cosmos, I'm honest, so I think he'll come in the next batch probably. I do want Cosmos, but nothing I'm going to chase. If the batch is poor, then I'm not bothered if I don't get him. So I think he's okay. Who else? Is there anyone else that I'm missing? Obviously, I think it's just the endurance bots that I'm missing, or any legacy bots, I think, that have been designed since. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Put in the chat if there's anything that I've missed other than the current endurance and legacy bots. So, yeah. So I think we're talking Metal Hawk, Tasmania Kid, Orion Pax. Yeah, I think, yeah. Is anyone that, stick it in the chat and let me know. So then we've got Metal Hawk. I think people have found a good use for him. I haven't got him, as I've not used that much, but I know people have been using him and said he's okay. I wouldn't say he's chase material, but I think be happy, but it's better in other batches. But you know what I mean, like, he's okay. Then we've got Tasmania Kid. I think it's an improvement on Cheeto, but that's about it. So I'd say not the best. Okay for resource farming. Yeah, that's about it. Honestly, it's that bad that I'm even struggling to remember what his ability even did. That's how poor he was. But I wouldn't say down here was useless though. He was really poor, not as good as new content, and I think that's why I was really critical at the time. Not because it was down here, but just because that it was down here, whereas new content should be up here. And you can see the older content is generally down here. That's what it is, and that's where it goes up. The newer content, which we're seeing here, should be up here. That's where it sort of should be. Then we've got Orion Pax. So Orion Pax, again, I think he's around here. Maybe even here. Yeah, I think, yeah, not the best. But he's okay. I mean, not exactly the best for resource farming, but he's not the best. I think he's okay. Maybe even put him there, I think. I think maybe a bit harsh, put him down there. Yeah, I think, yeah. I think there will suit him fine, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, light speed. Vector's not on here. Vector will be in the next one. Sorry. Lightspeed, obviously the most recent legacy bot. I think that the problem with Lightspeed, I think, we're here. But I think that if you've got his G1 and he gets the 2 vectors, he might push up to here with his G1. But do we say that he's there? Or do we say he's there because his G1 makes it? With those 2 vectors, that G1 core is probably the best in the game. I did say that at the time. The bot itself is probably here, but that G1 core makes the difference. And that's why I sort of said that the argument is, should G1 cores do that? Should G1 cores push that bot and be that good to chase? I don't know, but I would put Lightspeed up there. Good on defense. I've been hearing a few people use him on defense. I can see he's got his uses, so we'll have to wait and see. And that is the entirety of the batch. So you can see there, that is the entire... I'm trying to get rid of this thing at the bottom here, but... Okay, yeah. But there you go, guys. So that is the entirety of all the 5 stars in the game rated. So take some screenshots, take a look, guys. Share it around. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Is there any way you think should be pushed up? Is there any you think should be pushed down? Is there any you think, Wozza, you don't have a clue what you're talking about? You are mad. And let me know how you use it as well, so I can go and try it out myself, and maybe you might change my opinion, change my mind on that bot. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. And yeah, I hope this helps you sort of choose which batch to pull from, which bots to chase, which will be fit in your war team, or even good for leveling, whatever else. And good luck getting them as well. Cool. So obviously a lot of chat, and sorry guys, I really can't go through everything because I've literally been doing this for like what, an hour now. So I don't want to go through everyone's comments. But yeah, I appreciate everyone sort of having a chat about it behind the scenes. But if there's anything you think you know, stands out that I've totally got it wrong, then yeah, stick it in the chat and let me know. But let's move swiftly on. Let's have a look at this bot because that took ages, didn't it? You know what? I was thinking, oh right, I would love to, you know, I would love to do all of them, all the bots, all the combats, all the combiners. Jeez, that's gonna take a while. Imagine, God, that's gonna take hours. Took way longer than expected. Yeah, I think half of it was trying to find the bots in that absolute minefield. So apologies, guys. But yeah. But can we even save this actually? I'm trying to think I can save it anywhere, but oh, save or download. Oh, there we go. Cool. Done. Got it. Okay, into the game. So, finally. So, let's take a look at the Forge of Solus Prime. So, into weapons. So, I put it at level 9. The reason I put it at level 9 just so you can see how it upgrades. So, you can see there. So, it is deal 1.9% of normal attack damage to bots and combiners. So, keep that in mind. It's just bots and combiners does double damage against. Equipped bots also receive hack immunity. Okay. Slam down on an area every 12 seconds, dealing 150% of your DPS, stunning target for 2 seconds, and healing for 24% of the damage dealt. Revive with 6% of health when close to death once per battle. Now, they have clarified in test that the Vector, as part of this, will stack with the likes of Lightspeed and with Redgar. So the Solus will kick in first, so the bot will revive with 6% of the health, and then the Vector from other bots will kick in after that. So this will kick in first. As you can see there, bot combined damage up by 1% per upgrade and 1% per slam healing amount. So we just upgrade that to 10. And you can see that there it goes up to 2. And you can see there with a binary bond that just goes up to 2.2% and goes up to 3%. So just an increase on the obviously bottom combined damage and a slam healing amount as well. So let's take it onto the battlefield and let's have a look at it. So obviously Prime League effects in play, highest level of the game because we are playing with high level content. So I've actually put on Lightspeed for a simple reason that obviously Lightspeed has 0% in health, he has a Vector, 0 health, he has a Vector, sorry. And you can do that twice with his G1. So you would think that how it would work is he would get down to 0 health, he would refresh with 60% health again, and then the Vector kicks in twice. Just remember though that the Vector kicks in and goes back 10 seconds. So the only problem with that is if he's taking high amount of damage, then it doesn't Vector back with higher health. It Vectors back with a bit of lower health. When I sort of thought of this, I always thought it went back to 100% health, but it doesn't. Only if he started on 100% health and lost health very quickly, he'll go back to 100. But it was at like 15-20% health, it will just go down to 0 and then back to 15-20%. But anyway, Lightspeed, let's give it a go. So you can see here, so there's, he hasn't got it on, has he? Ignore me. I've only equipped it, Anna. Let's try again. That's better. I think I'll have to do some more testing with it. Noob. Okay, so Lightspeed, here we go. Good luck, Lightspeed. A bit back here, I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see it. There we go. So shoots, does his thing, and then Boom! You can see there, there's a stun in an area. See there, where it does it, watch the healing. See a bit of healing there, not much though. See it again if we can. Is the only healing actually? Is the healing even working? Yeah, you see the healing there, 460. So the healing isn't considerable really. But here's the Vector coming in. There's the Vector, bang, back to 60% health. And then G1 kicks in. Back to what it was 10 seconds ago. And because he got 2 with his G1. There's his Vector again, and he comes back. And then he dies. There we go. So you can see there, it's only got 400 odd healing. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put like quite a menial bot in an outpost. Because it does double damage against outpost bots. I want to try and switch this up a bit. And see what his healing is like against an outpost bot. So let's put Ariel in there. Yeah, makes sense. Just a menial bot. Put him down there. See there, did 900 healing. See there, healing again. $800 healing. So yeah, because he's doing damage to an outpost bot and around him, 24,000. Oh, that's a Vector. So yeah, oops. So yeah, it didn't make much of a difference really against outpost bots. I think that first impressions are that, just get him up on screen a minute. So I think first impressions are that the double attack damage to bots and combiners is pretty decent on attack. It's alright. Hack immunity, it's okay. It's not like amazing. Slam down an area every 12 seconds, dealing 150% DPS and stunning is alright. It's not amazing. I think the 25% healing of damage dealt is a bit underwhelming, if I'm honest with you. But the revive is a nice little, you know, plus. So I think overall, when you put it on a bot like Lightspeed, I think it's not bad. I think it's okay. I think the idea of having the Vector with 2 other Vectors is quite a neat idea and sort of helps with maybe just keeping the bot alive. But I think where we're really going to see the best of this Solus Prime is on a high DPS bot. Give me a sec to find him. Is he already on the team? Where's Optimal? Optimal, where are you? There he is. So you can see there that all of a sudden now, because we put on an Optimal, when it does 2 times normal attack damage to bots and combiners, all of a sudden it's doing 1,900 damage against bots and combiners. All of a sudden, because he's doing more damage, then he's also healing. So let's take this guy into battle. Let's put him down. So there was in testing a debate on whether ability damage should change that. But I think the ape said it shouldn't. But we'll give it a go. But you can see there his survivability is a bit more because he's doing incredible damage in an area. Let's try his ability. So do his ability. And sadly, no, ability damage doesn't change the healing. But you see there, he's getting 1,400 healing. So I think in terms of damage and amount of healing that you get, I think it's more warranted on a bot like Optimus. And you'll find that he heals a lot better. You can see there, 300 healing. Obviously, it helps when defenses are clustered because he gets more back from it because he's hitting more defenses when he does the damage. I think the animations are cool. I do like the animations with it as well. I think the swinging of the axe is really cool. Let's not forget that. You know, sometimes we look at it and just think about numbers and talk about, you know, how good it is. But I think that it's actually really, really cool. In terms of who it can go on, so let's just do unequip. We'll go equip there. So it's the kind of bots you're looking at. So it can go on most warriors and special bots. I think specifically it's not been allowed to go on Beachcomber. It was asked in playtest if this was the case. Whether that's that they think Beachcomber is too OP and putting that with him would be absolutely mental. Again, using the word mental. I'm not too sure. But I think all in all, verdict wise, I think that it's pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's a must-have right now. I wouldn't say it's unbelievable. I wouldn't say, like, you know, to not go for it either. I think that if you look at it on defense as well, it could be interesting. I think they're dealing 2 times attack damage to bots and combiners, especially on defense. I think that's why it's been avoided from Beachcomber, because it could be unbelievably good. Receiving hack immunity, I think the fact that people run Liege on attack is something they've considered. And then slam down an area with 12 seconds stunning, and then healing and revive again. I really do think when they designed this, they've thought of defense. I think there's been a few reports from high level players saying that defense is becoming very easy, and people just running over bases. I see a lot of comments in chats, things like that, and I think that this is a way of sort of bringing the meta back to defense in a way and bringing out some defensive stuff. I mean, they did mention that Raiden wants to be a defensive combiner. They did say that, and I think they've done the same with this combat as weapon even as well. That they're trying to make more defensive items for the game. So I think that if you want to run this on defense, it could be interesting. I'll probably test it after the event when I've got a bit more time to actually test it on defense. And I think it's going to be hard to do it on a test environment. Because, yeah, it's going to do more damage to bots and combiners. Yeah, it's going to be hack immunity. Yeah, it's going to do more damage. It's going to stun. It's going to heal. It's going to do all the things that we see there. But I don't think that you're going to look at it and go like, oh, wow, because it's just doing what it should. But I think once we start seeing it put into the game, and all of a sudden we just find it that bit harder to get through outpost bots. I'm trying to think why. I think this will be the reason why. Is the, you know, the vector, the health increase, and again all the little bits and compartments that on their own don't seem that impressive, but when you add an outpost bot doing double damage to your bots, not doing damage to its own base because it's got hack immunity from Liege, when it's doing 150 DPS and it's stunning targets and it's healing and it's vectoring, this is kind of the jack of all trades. But on defense, I think it kind of works. I think Jack of all trades on defense works fine. I think Jack of all trades on attack doesn't. Because on defense, it adds all them little bits to make it better. Whereas Jack of all trades on attack, you want it to do one thing good. Where in an outpost, in terms of combats especially, you just want it to improve the bot. And if a combat improves health and damage and survivability, then it's going to be a good combat into it, or a good weapon even. So I think on defense the jury's out, but I think it could be very good on defense, a good addition. I think on attack it's okay, it's not bad. Worth doing the event for? Probably, yeah. Won't be disappointed with it. Worth spending $120 for? Maybe not. Probably not as, you know, as OP as some other combats out there. Especially considering the vector sort of, you know, especially considering acid negates it, which is not the best idea. But yeah, if you're willing to go for it, then yeah, I don't think we're disappointed with it. So yeah, quite a positive review for the first time in a while. So let me know what you think in the chat, and if you get it after this weekend, go and test it, and let me know what you guys think of it and how you've used it, and you've seen a big difference on defense or even on offense. Let me know. But yeah, not a bad addition. Yeah, Johnny Butler's put so Optimal Optimus with this on defense with the golden disc, Beachcomber and Twin Twist sounds great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then yes, before we clock out Big Blade, yes. So right now, as we sort of said, because they pushed back Raiden, because they pushed back Powerglide, there's no update on them bots at all. I did talk about it last week on the plans for Cyclonus and Powerglide. So that video will be coming out, I think, probably the next week or two. But you can go and see it in the stream. I think it might have been either last week's stream or the week before, or the stream before that. But yeah, there's been no changes since that, and same for Raiden. There's been no changes in test at all. So I think they're going to work on them maybe after this combat's out. Oh, weapon. I think they're going to start working on them again, along with the endurance bot, and sort of split it up a bit. But again, because of the takeover, because of everything that's happening, there's quite a lot happening behind the scenes. We'll have to wait and see really what happens with it. There's no no guarantees. But yeah, Big Blade, no Beachcomber, can't use the Forge. Yeah, Darklands is going for it. We'll let you know next week. Thank you, much appreciated. Yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, Big Blade's put it could help bots like Leo Prime, Blaster, and Impactor. Yeah, definitely. Trash Panda, welcome to the stream. Better late than never. You just caught the end of it, to be fair. 923, no, you cannot upgrade 3 stars to 4 stars, sadly. You can upgrade 3 stars, but to get the 4 star, you have to get the 4 star version. You can't upgrade to the next star level. So, no, you can't, sorry. Okay, well, that is it for today's stream, guys. Don't forget to hit a like on the video or the stream, even. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe numbers are going up and up and up and up. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. Try and get some 8K subs. I think we're about close to 7.5K now on the screen there. You see, I think slightly higher than what's on the screen, but you can see we're getting close to 7.5K. Let's try and hit 8K early next year. That's the aim, and then push on to that big 10K. Can we hit sort of 10K maybe this time next Christmas? Maybe that'd be a massive achievement to get to 10K subs for me. I would even go far saying dream come true. Honestly, it'd be amazing. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who supported the channel. Much thank you to our members as always. Don't forget we're here every Thursday with a live stream that's like 2 hours by the time these streams are going now, even 2.5, 3 hours like this one. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Much appreciated. Look after yourself, guys, and see you next week. And peace out.